We welcome all, talking shit, spitballing and busting your balls. We all love Star Wars, the uniting cause, but as long as you love Lego, it ain't breaking no laws. We got clock talking random topics, leaks, rumors, politics like psychotropics, lane breakers, and of course all the latest gossip. What's your wish list? What's it gonna take to cop? Let's do a roll
cookies
of our illustrious host, hailing stateside in UK, coast to coast. Paddle on the dawn shuffles in, packing a cake, all stiff for us, stiff while he making it shit. Most fans here to send us back to 99. Always down, letting love light shine. Hailing from the Emerald Isle comes Slurpee Ho-Ho. Buttergreens, rainbow, stop motion, maestro. Country with the key, thespian by night.
Thespian by night.
The boys try to guess it right. Cool on with the plan, talks the head of the pain. Cyril and Biff, Welsh Dragon, see you all at the ready.
See you all at the ready.
Let's get the show started. Comments in the chat, even replay gets harder. Make yourself known, so we can shout you all out. Cool Han Luke, check it out, come see what it's about. Cool Han Luke, Cool Han Luke. We about to blast off like we dropping a note. Cool Han Luke, Cool Han Luke. Rock your head to these beats like you a surf dude. Cool Han Luke, Cool Han Luke. We about to blast off like we dropping a note. Cool Han Luke, Cool Han Luke. Rock your head to these beats like you a surf dude. A Lego chat show to which we welcome all, talking shit, spitballing and busting your balls. We all.
Well, well, well. Look at these handsome-looking lads on this this thumbnail tonight.
I'm not on there.
Exactly. Plus, we got Nimble on there as well.
Yeah.
And Joel. So yeah. We're here. Oh, we're tiny. Wait a sec. Well, hey, welcome. Oh, we didn't do the normal bring people in. Ah, well, we'll go back to that next one.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It wasn't my turn anyway, was it? I think it was Slurpee's, but he's on tour. So, episode 57, here we are, guys, and we're talking all things Brickfest, as you can see from the thumbnail. So, so between myself, Nimble, and Joel, who are the kind of hosts for tonight, because Whittaky and Slurpee can't be here. What you're seeing at the moment is the ghost of Whittaky. No, so Whittaky's just jumped in quickly just to say a quick hello. He's in work, but he might be popping in, or he will be popping in later in the stream. But between myself, well, including Whittaky, between myself, Nimble, Whittaky, and Joel, we've had experience, a lot of experience with Brickfest, either as an attendee, displaying, or displaying mocks and builds, or in my case, obviously volunteering as well as attending. So, and hopefully soon to be displaying as well. But so we're going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to try and promote it. I'm not backed by Brickfest at all. It's just out of pure passion and love for the brand and what it is they do. They do have a charity as well. A couple of people have said to me, "Oh, they're not charitable," but they are actually. You know, it's got to turn a profit, but there is a charity connected to the business as well. So we'll talk about all of that stuff. But first of all, while we've got Whittaky, before he has to kind of peel away to do the job he's currently getting paid for, before he does this one that he's currently not getting paid for, how are we doing, Whittaky?
Yeah, not too bad. So welcome everyone to this Super Sunday. But as you can see, background, I'm at work at the moment, but I always try to come on, even if it's 5-10 minutes, so I can make sure I'm in every one. But I finished at 9 tonight, so by the time I get home, I should be back on at 9, about 9:20, so 9:20, 25.
Can we wait till 9? Can we wait till 9 o'clock? Sorry? Do you think we could wait till 9 o'clock to do the shout out?
I mean, if you want, I mean, you've got me for a little bit, but I mean, that's why I came on at the beginning. So, just in case you want me to do it or something. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm here for the moment. Obviously, if the other person comes back, I'm going to have to get off quick.
Mm-hmm.
But same old. I've been lucky, really, because this is the first time I've been on a late for ages on a Sunday, so can't complain. No, I can't complain.
Well, I think we will do it earlier, but what we'll do is we'll break in Nimble for that, I think. You can shout out the chat. So any shout
out the chat, but I can't chuck any messages up.
Yeah, we'll sort that out, mate. We'll break him in. So, guys, you get your opportunity now to make Nimble say anything dodgy or hilarious or downright rude that you want him to say later. But aside from that,
anything goes.
Aside from that, how are you, Nimble? Is there a delay in my audio?
I don't think so, unless it's me.
Okay. See if when I say a number, my fingers go up at the same time. Ready? 2.
Yeah.
That's right. No, it's just because I was saying something and it was like, yes. So I was like,
I think we're all good.
Well, it takes our time to
Yeah. So of course, guys in the chat, love to see you guys in there. Do you getting to know each other, saying hello to each other, get all out the way so you can invest in this chat. I did ask the question and I pinned it to say, hey, have you ever attended a Brickfest? If you have, let us know which one, where, what your experiences were, good or bad, and we can talk it up. And look, we did. The main reason for doing this is because obviously I've been doing Brickfest as a volunteer now I just did my 5th show, 6th show in total because I attended one before that, and I don't know. I just don't think they get enough credit. I think that the show was really good. I was lucky enough to meet up with Joel and Whittaky at the most recent one in Cardiff, and it was a surprise visit via Whittaky. He kind of popped in, although I think he did try to let me know, but of course I was working, so I couldn't check. But yeah, and it was just a good show, and I tried to encourage other people to go. Like obviously Bricktastic, we haven't experienced it yet. Brickworld, we've done it, and yeah, we can chat about that all day. But in terms of something smaller on a smaller scale that you can do on a weekend, and generally is more likely to come close to your hometown, and get that kind of Brick Festival quick small fix, then yeah, it's like it's like your local news agent compared to your superstore. You still need them. They still you still got to hit them up now and then to get those goodies. So so I'm an advocate for them and kind of an ambassador. But so just going to talk a little bit about that tonight. And I think we've talked a little bit about attending like these conventions and stuff in the past. Me and Nimble have wanted to do more streams just talking about these conventions. But I just thought, because this one is directly Lego related, it makes sense to put it on an episode of the channel. So here we are. But Nimble, you went to one, but it was like way earlier in the year, right?
I've been to 2 Brick Festivals. I've been to one this year, which was a bit earlier, yeah, probably sort of summertime. I can't remember exactly when. I just remember it being really hot. So yeah, it's got to have been summer because it's never hot in England. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I'm more than happy to get stuck into the ins and outs of it. I probably haven't got the same experience that you have, well, evidently, but yeah, I've been to 2, both at the same venue, and both were very different as well. So
oh wow,
yeah, I'll be able to give a good insight into that as well. But yeah, looking forward to it, mate.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed your extra hour of sleep last night. Yes, the clocks went back in the UK, which is kind of good. I think I can't remember. Whittaky might remember better, but I think we monopolised on this quite well last year because it closed the gap on the time difference between us and the US a little bit. So it's later in the day for them.
Only for a few weeks, and then it goes back again, I think.
Yeah. Because I think the opposite happened then later in the year, or early in the year, should I say, when the gap widened slightly. I can't remember
It's
exactly.
lovely having the extra hour in it, but it's a pain in the arse changing the clocks on like in your house and on the microwave and on your car.
Yeah, well, I don't own a microwave, but I feel like everything's automated now. It's just like
You don't
I
own
remember
a microwave?
No, I haven't had a microwave. I've never had a microwave for donkey's years. Didn't even have a toaster till recently. No, because what's your
British,
microwave?
Nimble looks disgusted.
How can you not have a toaster?
Don't really eat toast, but we've got
We eat
grill in
beans
it.
on toast like 4 times a day, don't we, in Britain?
I can't remember the last time I had beans on toast, to be honest.
No, not if you don't like beans.
Hey, we all love beans.
No, we don't.
Beans, good for the heart. The more you eat,
The more you, yes.
More cans you've got to wash out and throw away.
yeah.
What what I was going to say to, sorry, Muggsy, what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't have that same, I mean, it works both ways when the clock goes forward as well, but you don't have that qualitatiousness of being like, oh, an extra hour in bed, because most of the things you tell the time by kind of automatically change. You don't really notice. Like I got up this morning at 7:30. I didn't think to myself, oh, yes, I can go back to bed for an hour because I wasn't going anywhere anyway. And if I was going to work, I would have just got up and gone to work, and it wouldn't have made any difference because everything's. You see what I mean? Whereas when you were a kid, you'd be like, wake up, I get, yeah, whatever it is, like, you know. So,
you know, I set my alarm this morning for 11 o'clock because I start. But I thought, no, I'll have an extra hour. But then obviously we did going back, so I had an extra hour. So I had about 11 hours sleep last night. It's great.
I think the main time that I really enjoyed it when I used to sort of spend Saturday nights going out clubbing and stuff. So we'd be out till, I don't know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And most of the clubs would close at like, I don't know, depending on which club you're in, say 3-4 o'clock. But it was always at 2 o'clock in the morning it would change, wouldn't it? Officially.
Yeah. 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You'd be out at 2 o'clock and the DJ would be like, right, everybody, an extra. And they'd like put the clocks back to like 1 o'clock. So you'd be like, yeah, you got another 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever it was, as opposed to, you know what I mean? So you're like, yeah, another hour of drinking.
Back in my day, Bristol didn't do that. And when the clocks went forward, it bleeding stopped at 1 o'clock and shoved us out. It's like buggers. But, you know.
Anyway.
That was when it was vinyl.
Better times. Well, yeah, so it's not quite the same. Not quite the same. Those are introducing words.
Yeah, by what? 5:15, it was all dark and gloomy. It's like, ooh.
I love that comment there, Ultra. Yeah, nice. I'm supposed to be giving abuse to like Brummies in Birmingham, ready for him to read this out, but I'll take it. But no, I don't own a microwave because I can't think of anything.
You don't need me to read it out then. You want, because that's why I was staying. But
Go on, Martin. Do the honours, mate.
Oh, I just can't let go, can he? Just can't let it go. First of all, he said he could only be here 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's only been 13 minutes.
Yeah, but we normally do it about half an hour in.
Isn't that a good thing that I can't let go? Just shows how much I enjoy it.
I thought I was going to be on my own, mate. I was like, I had a speech rehearse and everything. But yeah. But no, hit it, mate. If you want to hit it, let's get the let's get out the old
I mean, unless Nimble really wants to do it, I don't want to tread on his toes.
No one wants to listen to my accent read out that many messages, mate.
Trying to get the music on, but it's not working.
Okay.
Right, wait a sec. Let me play from the beginning.
Do you want to whack the banner up as well?
You can't. I don't know how to restart this now. Never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Alright, banner.
Yeah, I've done it.
Hello!
Welcome to the Cool Gang, everyone. Just going to go on the comments. Nice to see everybody. Go back up to the top. Okay. Got just Cool Han there at the top. You're first today, then, Cool Han. Right, good evening, Joelbrix. Evening, lads. Hope you're doing well. MatteBlackBricks is in the house. Good evening, MatteBlackBricks.
The coolest cool gang.
Matt Lee, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Matt Lee. It's always good to see you. Definitely one of our regulars. Someone I haven't seen for a while. Being open before. Welcome to the show. I know he has been in, but I haven't seen him for a while. I hope you're well. Joelbrix, he's oh dear, in 10 weeks it'll be episode 6, 7. I missed what that's about, really, to be honest. Right, we have MatteBlackBricks. Now, is it a new one?
I've got cake.
Oh, nice cake.
Hey.
So, if this is your first time, Tim, welcome to the show.
Tim.
How is he? Okay, sorry, I apologise. Right, you go. Right. Legend Bricks. What's up, everyone? Good evening. Another one of our regulars, Paddy. Yeah. Welcome, Sarah. She's at work like me. So, who else have we got here? We got Bugsy Lad. Mate, unfortunately Slurpy's not here tonight, but it's always good to see you, mate. Always good to see you. Have a look. Anyone else? We got Drunken Gamer 75. Hi guys, first time for me, so this is his first time. Welcome to the show.
The Drunken Gamer. Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Like,
see you.
hit that bell.
Evening, Ken. No microwave is well the third world country.
Yeah, it is.
By choice, guys. By choice. They are readily available here.
I think, and that is it. That's up to put in Drunken Gamer again. It's his first time saying hi to Nimble. So welcome to the show, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be off soon, but I will be back later. But always great to see everybody. Thank you for joining in. And yeah, please leave any more questions or anything. And obviously, if anyone else comes in, if I'm here, I'll say hello. If I'm not, I'll say hello later. Right, over to you, Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, so let me just clear up the my sundial is goosed. Yeah, I like that. Nice one. Yeah, no, so just to clear things up, guys, yes, I don't have a microwave by choice. I just cook everything generally from scratch. We do like HelloFresh and Gusto and things like that. So, but even before that,
I must admit, a lot of the things that I used to use a microwave. A lot of things I used to use a microwave for, I use a hot air fryer now because it seems to do it just as quick.
Yeah, I got an air fryer.
And it gets a bit more crispier. It's, because microwave is goes a bit soggy, doesn't it? So. Yeah,
I can't think of anything you could, unless you're like, it's like, I'm past the point of eating ready meals. So, and warming food up. I think that's the big thing. It's either if you're ready meals, so if you're a student or you eat quick foods and stuff like that, or if you eat, like I generally eat quite healthy. I like to think I do anyway. But also, if you warm food up. Now, the only people who warm food up is people who don't finish their food.
True. And you probably do.
Wrong household, because I don't leave anything.
And also to dry your socks.
Yeah, dishwasher's that.
I hope you take them off, Mark, before you do that.
Yeah.
I was watching an episode of it. Is the what's the Come Dine With Me, but the American version, where some woman was trying to save money and stuff, so she had people coming over to eat. No, not Come Dine With Me. I don't know. Well, anyway, and she was cooking a lasagna, but rather than use the oven and the dishwasher, she put the lasagna in the dishwasher, covered it with foil and everything, but cooked it in there because apparently it gets to the same temperature as the oven.
Jesus. That's just weird.
Essentially, just boiled it rather than like cooking.
It's always the ants, isn't it, doing something weird.
Yeah.
So everybody's eating it, and they're like, it tastes like dish soap or whatever it was. Like, so.
What cake are you eating, Nimble?
School cake.
What cake?
School cake. Like sprinkles. Just.
Had a school cake.
School cake, because that's the sort of cake you get at school, isn't it?
Oh right.
Just plain.
You get cake at school. I don't ever remember even having dessert at school. We had custard.
You didn't go to school, did you?
It was a long time ago, mate. I don't ever remember having no cakes. Jesus.
Still getting the cane, wouldn't you?
Well, it's funny you say that actually, because I was talking to.
That was even before my time, Nimble. There was no cane at my school.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I did. We did still have capital, like that kind of punishment in
Capital
school.
punishment.
I was going to say capital punishment. We did still have that kind of punishment. So basically, so I went to a Catholic school, right? So it was a little bit more rigid, so a little bit more old-fashioned, I guess. But I didn't know any difference. It wasn't until like years later when I was talking to people about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, getting the cane," and they were like, "Oh, you went to school in the 20s?" And I was like,
You went to Catholic
"Did
school.
you not
Were you abused by any chance?
Well, essentially, yeah, because if they'd stopped doing that in school, but we were still having it.
Ooh,
So I had the head teacher like poke me with a finger in the face. But generally, I was quite well behaved. But if you weren't behaved and you were reported to the headmaster at dinner time when everybody else was having the dinner, you had to stand on your chair. Then the headmaster would come round and, like, say there was, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. He'd have like one of these long, remember the long wooden meter rules?
Yeah.
So you go around with them and just whack them across the back of their legs.
Jesus.
But we were never like, oh my God, oh, people are getting punished, because it was just normal.
Imagine that happening to kids these days. The kids would not know what had hit them.
Wow.
I remember even back in my day. So, like, I remember first year. So it was 1980. I remember a teacher did actually slap a friend of mine around the face, and you didn't see him again.
Wow.
The teacher.
Yeah, I got picked up by a teacher in high school, and he grabbed me by the throat and threw me down, and my ass hit the corner of a table. And again, didn't do much about it, but apparently he did it to some other kid like a couple of weeks later, and this other kid happened to mention to his dad that same teacher had done something to him, to me, and then him and his dad turned up at my house, and obviously I hadn't told my parents, because, you know, I just thought it was normal, like, so I hadn't told my parents, and they turned up at the house, and of course I was like, my dad was like, why didn't you say anything? And I was like really upset. So as well as my parents like shouting at me for not telling them, we then had marches up to school, like, and I think the teacher ended up being forced into early retirement. So it was quite a big thing. But what I'm saying is when it was happening, I didn't think, oh my God, like, you know, I was just like, oh well. Because, you know, you have fights in school and stuff all the time. Again, probably that doesn't happen as much anymore. But, you know, fights in school and get lumped in the face or in the nose or whatever.
The good old days.
Yeah, all the time. But it was like, I don't know. Like I said, it's like the whole thing. The world has changed now. You're watching all these people like walking up into Tesco's and Greggs and just filling their bags and walking past. And the security guards holding the door for them. Not on my day, mate. Not on my day. You pick the first person, and then you give them a hiding right in front of everybody, and that was it. Then you wouldn't have anybody come back. But you can't do it these days. Obviously, they've changed all the laws and legalities and stuff. But
they'd end up suing you. Ridiculous.
Exactly. You know, I chase people all over Cardiff for a pasty. Like, it's crazy, just because of the principle of it. Like, you know, and even then you have to fight to get it back. But it's different nowadays. Like, I've had a leg of lamb thrown at me, frozen leg of lamb. But yeah, anyway, going back to school. So yeah, so it was still around. You know, teachers used to get
cursed. You done that, wasn't
it? Yeah, teachers to get punished all the time. Teachers to punish, like, actively punish children.
You didn't throw it back at them, did you?
Nah, just dodged it, mate.
No,
if
you did, you might have got the chop. The chop.
No, I just dodged it. I just dodged him. When I finally caught up with him, I grabbed the bag off him, and I was like, right, come on, back to the store with you. And of course, my security guard, who was like 4 times the size of me, massive beefcake of a guy, he didn't like the idea that he'd have to run.
Yeah.
So he decided. So as soon as he caught up with him, I was like, "Oh, that's all right, Gareth. I got him." Like, and Gareth was like, "No, he made me run." So just continue to just pummel him. And I was like, I didn't see nothing. Well, and then he lifted him up, right? Because this kid was a scrawny little kid, so he lifted him up. So you imagine putting your arms behind your back like this, and then up. So they crossed behind you, but up a little bit.
Yeah,
That was a massive guy. So he grabbed both of this guy's wrists together and pulled them up. So the kid was off the floor. But of course, your body would automatically arc that way. So he walked him all the way back to the shop down the high street like this. And he's going to all the other security guards. Yeah, this kid was like this. And he's like, "Oh, let go of me. Anyway, I could tell you some stories. That's for another stream anyway. It's not Lego related at all. But no, capital punishment was around. Capital punishment was around. Punishment in school, physical punishment in school was around, and it wasn't like anything wrong with it either. That's the weird thing. But I don't even know how we got onto that subject. But yeah, no. So I just prefer to cook from fresh.
You've gone from microwaves to school punishment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So good old days.
Yeah, nice to.
But
nice to
no.
change.
So we're gonna have a friend of the show helping us to host tonight, since our main guys are away. So Joel, family favorite Joel, is going to be joining us, and he can talk a little bit about displaying at a. And I'm interested to hear this for myself, not just for the viewers, but for myself, because there's a brick event happening very close to my parents' house, and I'm really tempted to display at it, and it'd be my first time displaying. I would have loved to do it at Brickfest, which would have made more sense, but there's not another one now near me for a long time. So I've emailed this company about displaying, and I'm just going to try and take a few of my, because I've looked online. Apparently you can take rebrickable mocks as long as you've got like a sign it, and a lot of the ones I've built, I've customized them anyway, so not quite like the original build, and I've got a few of my own which I might have to kind of put back together. So I'm thinking of doing it, but I was also thinking of reaching out to them and saying, you know, how would you feel about having somebody like do a stream live from the show? Because this new company, National Brick Company, are just trying to get off the ground a little bit. They're relatively new. And I just thought I might reach out to them. The worst they're going to say is no, but I just thought, I already put my name in the hat for volunteering, and they're already filled with volunteers. They generally do it a couple of months before, so that wasn't surprising. But I just thought, I wonder if I could just set up a stream down there and just kind of walk around the hall like I did at Brickworld, just, you know, kind of interviewing some of the people doing the mocks, you know, and, you know, some of the people at the tables, and just like get a sense for, you know, what's going on there. And they're my people because it's my hometown as well. So I'm thinking I might reach out to them and say that, and I might just quickly drop, like, you know, the show that we do, we've did 2 shows at Brickworld in Chicago, the biggest brick convention in the world, just saying, and see if that kind of like that bit of name dropping will help. But I just thought I might like the idea of doing that, just set up a little table, doing a stream, and rather than it be about the chat, because obviously I'd be there on my own, I would just kind of go out into the crowds with the portable mic and just be like, you know, what are your experiences, and chatting to people about their mocks, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'd love to be able to do that. So I might, if it works and if they let us do it, I might be tempted to try and do it for Brick Fest as well. Some of the Welsh shows next year, but
definitely,
we'll see.
The worst that they can say is no, isn't it?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's good. Hello.
Okay,
Joel, how's it going, mate?
All right,
Yeah.
Joel.
now that you've got a couple of people now to support you, hi Joel. But I'm gonna go off now because I've got to go back to work. But I'll be back on later. Okay. It's
Have
not
a good
you, Joel.
shift, mate.
It's not you, Joel. I said I'd try and be on 20 minutes, half an hour. Yeah. Right. I'll see you all a lot later. Have a really great show.
It's all right,
Thanks,
Mark.
mate. Have a good
All right,
shift.
yeah.
So I've got lots of visual stimulation for people in terms of like, not just because I'm talking about Brickfest in general, not just the one I attended recently. So I've got some visual in terms of like, you know, things I've picked up. A lot of people, I remember I posted when we went to the Newport one, I posted a cheeky picture of Joel next to one of the banners we had there, which had the monkeys from the Monkey Battle Pack.
Was that
There's
not
kind of
Swansea?
that was Newport, that wasn't it? Yeah,
No, I thought that was Swansea.
was it?
Mark,
didn't
can you
display
whack
it.
off the Cool Gang music, please, mate?
Was that?
Can you whack the Cool Gang music off, please?
Whack it off.
It's all yeah,
Wait, is this still on? I can't hear it.
it's still on.
I can't.
Wait, I can't hear anything. No, it's off.
I can definitely hear it. That's it.
Oh no, the volume's on 2. Jesus, you must have your volume like full whack. I had the volume down to 2.
Have
Sorry,
you got
guys.
any other,
Anybody?
like soothing music, background music?
I have, but while Ultra's here, we can't play it because I didn't mean to name drop Ultra then, but we had some feedback from. Let's say we had feedback from one of our viewers saying that it's really annoying when you're watching on replay to just have background music.
Yeah.
So we don't
Fair
tend to play it, and nobody has said otherwise. Nobody said what happens to the background music. So I tested it one week just to see, and nobody said anything different. So I only tend to play it when I'm doing my builder streams because it's a lot more dead silence on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough. Got to please
yeah, maybe-
the fans.
Maybe it was Swansea then.
So it didn't display in Newcastle. I found my display in Swansea.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into displaying in a sec, which is obviously where you'll come in clutch, Joel, because obviously none of us have done that. But yeah, so I feel basically anyway. A while back, I threw up just a picture of Joel and I put it out there publicly, and I think I don't know whether I copied in or I tagged Brickfest in it. I'm not sure. Either way, I seem to get like quite a few random messages from people who weren't followers or I didn't know. And it was mostly like, or at least one guy. There was a bit of hate for a Brick Festival saying, "Oh, it's all vendors. There's nothing there for the kids to do and see, and they chat like the prices the vendors are charging is through the roof, and it's just a money making scam." And I was like,
"Isn't it like £6 for a ticket?"
And I was like, "Why about? That's not a scam because it advertises that there's going to be vendors there." Also, he may have gone to one. This guy may have gone to one, but I'd been to at that point 3 or 4, and there was as many events and displayer space as there was vendor space. I would say it was kind of a, if you include the event space, which is where we do the events and all the different things that are going on, as kind of floor space, I would say it was probably a 33% split. So it was mocks and displays, vendors. Because the vendors, I don't feel like there was as many of them, but they do take up a lot more space because a lot of them have like 4 or 5 tables, whereas the displays tend to have like maybe 1 or 2 tables. But in terms of like actual footprint, I would say it was a nice split between the 3. And nobody's forcing you to look at the vendors. But if you went to one where it was mostly vendors and nothing else, then okay, bad experience. But I wouldn't call the whole thing a sham for that. And obviously it's not a scam unless you've been, what's the scam? What have you been scammed into? I don't really get that. But yeah, it's relatively cheap to get in. That's the bit that I wasn't sure of because, of course, I don't pay for my ticket, so I don't actually know. And even though I'm charging people, even though I'm scanning people in on the gate, they've already got tickets. And when they want to buy a ticket, I send them to the desk. So usually there's a girl sat down there doing the desk thing. I'm usually the animated guy in the door. So it's like I don't actually know what the prices are. So I'll probably have to pull that up because I think it varies per venue. But we've got
saved somewhere.
Yeah, I've got the website open in case you need to refer to anything anyway. But I'm just going to start off by throwing up a couple of things for myself. So look, attended as just to kind of paint the picture. I attended as with my daughter. She was like 10 or 11 at the time. And we had a great day. We enjoyed it. Now, we went to the Cardiff one first, which is a little bit different and better in a lot of ways because Cardiff shares the same hall space as Cardiff Comic Con. And there's multiple Comic Cons in Cardiff, as there is in most big cities. But it's probably the main one at that time of year. And they share the hall space. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that if you buy a ticket for Brickfest, the way they use the exit system is you have to exit through Comic Con to get out. So there's only one door going in and one door going out. Whereas Comic Con has a door in and out kind of thing. So just to kind of keep the traffic flowing and people not trying to come out when you're trying to let people in, that kind of thing. Which is the same anywhere. Any venue that I've done these events at, there's a separate entrance and exit. But of course, because of the way the hall's laid out, they have to go through Comic-Con. So essentially, they get the ticket for both. However, if you're in Comic-Con, because there is a separate exit in Comic-Con, you can't come into the Brick Festival. And the tickets are roughly the same price. So I always say to people, get a ticket for Brick Festival, get a stamp, which means you can come back in. And essentially, you can do Brick Festival, go into the Comic-Con, leave, come back. You have to come back in, and there's never usually a queue. Come back in, show your stamp, come back in, and you can basically just keep going in and out all day of the 2 of them for the price of 1. And it's not something they advertise, but it's not something they hide either. So obviously, if you're going to Cardiff one, then you're basically getting 2 cons for 1. So me and my daughter really enjoyed it. So I was just like, this is great. And I just kept seeing posters everywhere for volunteers. And I thought, I might do that one day in the future. Forgot all about it. Had a great day, picked up a t-shirt, picked up some bits and pieces, a couple of sets, a couple of figs I was after, whatever. I entered the Building the Bag competition. So they have competitions during the day for children and adults, which I'll get into a little bit later. But there was one in particular which was a build in a bag competition. So you get like a Ziploc bag with pieces in, and I didn't find out till I'd started volunteering that the kids get the exact same set generally, but they get a bigger bag, so they get more space to work with, which I think in some ways is actually harder. But so we get a little bag, and I had to build like this kind of desert island thing. It was only probably about, I don't know, maybe about 20 pieces, but some of them are very small pieces, and you've got to kind of build it. And of course, as you're moving around, shuffling the pieces around in a bag, you're breaking pieces off, and it can be quite challenging. Anyway, I won it. Right, came first, and I won this set, which I still never done anything with because I'm not a Batman fan. So if I ever meet another Batman fan in person, I might give him this if they haven't got it. It's got a Mr. Freeze with it, and it's got like a little so it's not a cheapy present. It's quite a fairly decent present. $9.99 UK value, so not a bad little prize. I thought, oh cool, that's something. I mean, I did it for the fun. But anyway, so we left. Great day out. Following year comes around again, and I thought, I'd forgotten I was going to look at volunteering opportunities. So I messaged my daughter and said, look, Cardiff Brick Festival's coming up again. It's sharing with Comic-Con again. Let's go down and do it again. And she's like, yeah, I had a good time, but no, it's all you. It's all you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, well, I liked it, but like, I feel like you had a better time because obviously I'm more of a Lego fan than she is. She's like, I liked it, and if you really want me to go again, I will, but I feel like you probably enjoyed it more. So if you want to go, basically go on your own. And I was just like, oh, great, okay, thanks. But I think she meant it in the nicest way. It wasn't like, I don't want to go. It was just like, I think she knew that I probably would be likely to volunteer. So that's what I did. Volunteered for it, joined it. Oh, I had such an amazing experience. Would I say that the guys and the staff there were all like warm and welcoming and friendly and all the rest of it? Yes, but not in the way I expected. Because I think they have I've realized this over time, is they have a lot of people volunteering. They come and they do one event, and they go, and they just kind of, a lot of the people who turn up to a lot of these events. So I wasn't aware when I got there that some of these people, it's not like a traditional team scenario, because you enter this team and you think everybody knows each other. You're joining this team, but what you don't realize is a lot of the people there are also the same as you. They never volunteered before. They don't know each other. You don't really get to work with each other, and then you're kind of pulled from one place to another. So you never really get to form any kind of relationship or have a conversation with anybody. And the organizers, or the people who are kind of heading things up, are just so kind of under pressure that they're just kind of like, well, so you don't have that kind of, hey, welcome to the team. I know this is what you got to do, and we'll show. It's like
you don't have the camaraderie.
Yeah, and it's impossible to get that. I mean, I tried to build that up with the guys I've been working with, but it is quite tough. But, and obviously, working in the environment I work in, where you're kind of leading a team of, anywhere between sort of 5 and 60 staff, it's kind of like inherent with you to do that. But when you're kind of the new guy to this, they don't know your experience from Adam. To them, you're just some, weirdo guy who just wants to kind of work around Lego. So they're just, they're taking the help and like using it. And I'm like, that's fine, because no airs and graces. I just want to get stuck in. I want to be involved in it and see what it's about.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. It was a great experience. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, and like I said, you don't get this kind of like, it was just kind of like you turn up, right? What's your name? So and so, right? There's a lanyard. Here's your t-shirt. Right, okay, you're going to be working on the door. We'll show you how to use the thing. Right? Okay. This is how you do it. Right? Do it. And it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, so it's fine. I think, it was great because it was also the first time I got a chance to meet Whittaky. So we'd planned to meet up at this one, and he sort of came down for the day. He couldn't get there earlier, so because I was volunteering, I didn't know what was involved, and you don't really get a chance to kind of have a break or anything. So I'd spoken to the organizer, thankfully, before, and I said, look, I got a friend coming down visiting. Can I take like an hour's lunch? She was like, yeah, that's fine. And she said, well, what you can do if you want to take it like an hour's lunch, you just do a half day and then you can finish. And I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, well, I don't mind working the rest of the day. So that's what I ended up doing. So me and Whittaky kind of shot off, got to know him a little bit, because it was just kind of pandemonium. And as long as you're there and you're working, people are either asking you stuff or other members of staff are getting you to do things. So I was like, let's just go. Let's go and grab someone from Wetherspoons, had a meal, and had a sit down, had a proper chat. And that was the first time I'd met Whittaky, and we'd been doing the show for about 6 months at that point. So that was great. That was a great experience. I think that was also the first time I'd met Joel,
Yeah, I think it
person.
was.
And he actually kind of noticed me, and I think we'd been on a stream before. Was it on Oaktown stream for a charity stream or something like that? We'd been on.
Yeah, I think we both got interviewed by Oaktown.
Yeah. We've been on either been on a stream together or both been on the same show, whatever, and kind of knew each other in like chat. And anyway, so we met each other in person, and I think you came up to me while I was working, and it was like quite a nice moment because I was like, obviously getting told what to do and stuff, and you came up to me with like a white brick and a Sharpie, and you're like, "Can you sign my brick?" And I was just like, that was my first kind of experience of being like, part of this community. I don't want to say like being a star or anything like that, but like somebody's asking for your signature, like it doesn't happen. Like that's probably the first time I ever had to do that in my life. So I was just like, amazing. Went to sign in, and like I remember the nib of his Sharpie had just been lopped off, so it was completely flat on the top. So like, what? Let's just do this. Anyway, it was just that, it was a great experience. It was a great day. And, like I said, I don't go into the details of what the job were, but it just got me hooked. And I remember afterwards when we were clearing up, that's when that camaraderie thing kind of set in. Because when you're clearing up and you're tightening up with people and the customers are gone, it's like,
well, you can relax and you can sort of breathe a bit, can't you? Because the pressure's off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I never felt pressured by the situation anyway, because apart from doing things, the tasks I was doing were different. The technology, obviously, I was using was different. But when you've had experience of using like a handheld terminal, it's not like all new to you. It's just like a different version of what you've had. And when you've been working and like run events for kids and worked around children and families and know how to communicate with people as part of your job, yes, you're doing a slightly different thing to before, but you're just using all those tools and just reapplying it. And I do remember I was working with one of the other volunteers at the time, who was like brand new. And the guy kept asking me and saying, "Oh, what do we?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, how long have you been doing this?" I was like, "That's my first time." And he's like, "But you seem like you've been doing it for years." And I was like, "No, it's my first time. It's a lot of the stuff I'm doing is similar to what I do in my real, everyday life. So it's just adjusting your ability to that thing." So that's probably why I enjoyed it, because I think if I'd been thrown in the deep end, I didn't know anybody, and I was quite a shy person or whatever, I might have not enjoyed it. And I do find that there's a lot of people who do it and never kind of do it again, kind of thing. So because it's not for everybody, but definitely in terms of visitor, like I said, I'm not here to encourage people to necessarily to volunteer for it, but I do think it's a great thing, especially if you're taking a family and kids. But surprisingly, there's a lot of adults who go and they're on their own. There's a pick-a-brick section there, and there was one when I worked in the Newport. It might be Newport or Swansea. I can't actually remember now because I'm getting the two of them mixed up. But there was a guy who came and he was there for about 5 hours just looking through the pick-a-brick, and the whole time he kept like trying to maintain a conversation with me, but he's like, "You're one guy talking to me. I got loads of other people to kind of speak to or whatever." But no, it's just he's like, "Oh yeah, come to these, and this is the cheapest," because we haven't got like bricks and minifigs or anything like that in the UK. There's nowhere to go and just buy like apart from the Lego store, go and buy like kind of loose bricks. So for him, it was like great to just kind of dig through these big trenches of Lego. Anyway, so I was hooked. We had this kind of 2 hours or whatever it is afterwards clearing up, got to know a few people, and then one of the organizers was like, "We've got a show in London next weekend. Can you make it?" And I'm like, "Well, probably not, because it's going to cost me a fortune to get to London." And she's like, "Oh, we pay slightly more, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, if I can get there and I can do it relatively cheap, I'll let you know." And she's like, "Oh, we really need some volunteers." I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I went away and I spoke to Kirsty and I was like, "Oh, why don't I?" She's like, "Just do it." She said, "If you really enjoyed it, why not do it?" She's obviously giving you something back. And of course, I'd come out of last year, a tough year of kind of mental health issues and stuff like that. And it was just nice to have something else to focus on, because I only had like work, hobbies. I don't go out socializing with people, and I just, because I don't live near family or friends or anything. So she was like, "Yeah, this, the vibe you had when you came back, fair play to her." She was just like, "Look, go. Try and get a cheap hotel, book, a coach or a train, wherever you can get cheaper," she said. "And obviously, whatever you get from volunteering, the bit of money they give you will obviously offset that. But if you go and you enjoy yourself and you feel like you're being useful, and it gives you satisfaction, then go for it." So I was just like, "Yeah, all right." So I contacted him and said, "Yeah, I go." I managed to get myself an Airbnb, and a ridiculously cheap train journey. I worked out something like, because I booked a specific train at a specific time, I think it worked out about £7 or something stupid like that to go up to London.
How much better was it? The volunteering benefit of like money. What was the difference? If they're trying to convince you to go all the way to London, what was the like the?
It was a difference of £15. So what I didn't realize till afterwards is that they give you get £50 for working at the event, and that's why they call it volunteering, because obviously that's below minimum wage, so they call it volunteering, but it's almost like a kind of to cover travel and expenses more than anything else. But at the Cardiff one, the first one I ever did, it was only 35, and I didn't know what the amount was. I don't think I ever asked. Apparently it was on the emails, but I'd never really, because I wasn't doing it for that. I genuinely thought it meant volunteering, like you're just giving you free time. And because Cardiff was relatively easy for me to get to, I stayed at my parents, so there wasn't a huge cost involved. I was like, yeah, great, I'll just go and I'll just have a fun day. And not only did I enjoy it, but at the end of it, they're like, oh, I used 35 quid. They also gave you like a printed brick, which is obviously exclusive to if you're displaying or if you're volunteering. And I thought, oh, great. And I'd never had one of those before because I'd never been to Brick World at this point. So I was like, oh, nice, cool brick. Yeah, well, I was going to say, I did dig my stack out, but I've got my stack of just what you call ones. But no, oh, wow. Oh, you'd have to go through some of those because I'd be interested in hearing the difference in some of them.
They got like, oh shit. They got like designs on the back too.
Yeah. So that was one of the things I was going to talk about. I didn't actually take the picture of the back, but they've stopped doing that now. They just do like
they do like these bricks now.
Do a single print, yeah.
I think it's like copyright stuff because this is like actual Lego themes.
No, that's true, yeah.
But
I think the one I was doing, it was like a monsters something on the back of it. I can't remember. But no, so basically the one I worked at, the first one I worked at, which obviously I didn't know how much was involved until they gave it to me afterwards, was like 35 quid. The reason it's cheaper is because it shares the hall with Comic-Con, and they only pay 35 quid for a shift with Comic-Con. So therefore they had to match the same amount because it was part of the same event. So I've also volunteered with them, which is Showmasters. So they're linked in some way, run by the same kind of people, and they do events around the UK. The difference with them is because they have, usually it's a weekend thing, so Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, they run shifts all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, like setting up and all the rest of it. And if you're working certain shifts, so for example, if you were working a Friday shift, a Saturday shift, and a Sunday shift, you get hotel paid for Friday and Saturday.
Right.
The only problem with those is because since I've registered with them, they send me emails regularly. The only problem with them is that unless I book holiday, I tend to have holiday off, which I've got to book my holidays well in advance, and they only give you about 2 months' notice of the events. I would have to be able to get a hotel, I need to have worked the Friday and the Saturday. And then to get the hotel Saturday, I've got to also work Sunday. And it finishes so late on a Sunday, I can't get back in time. So I basically have to book a whole weekend off. And what it cost me in travel is probably about the same as what I'd get back. So I don't know. I want to try and do it next year. But this year I just kind of opted for just focusing on the brick events. But yeah, so Showmasters is a completely separate thing. But I haven't worked for them, so I can't really talk about that. But no, so it was like, yeah, great. So it was like 50 quid. And I was like, great, okay. Well, it cost me 80 for the Airbnb. And I think, probably all my other expenses together were probably another, I don't know, maybe another 50. So it didn't, I was out of pocket going up to this one in London, but I just really enjoyed it. And it was the fact that, they'd kind of asked me personally to help out. And that was it then. But I came back from it, I had a good time. And I said to Kirsty, look, it was great. I was glad I went, but it was a tiring weekend because, it's a lot of travel and stuff just for one day. And, I didn't have work off. So I was kind of going from work up there, stayed over, did that all day, and then traveling back most of the day, the following day. It was just, it became like a long thing. And then goes back to work. So effectively I had no break from work. And it is quite a physically challenging job, or you're on your feet at least. So, I wouldn't recommend doing it if you're not physically able, if you've got a job that's physically challenging, because you might need that physical rest. But apart from that, in terms of sense of well-being and benefit, and then, like I said, I think for me, the payoff is seeing the kids enjoying the Lego. And we talked about it when Mark was on about like future-proofing Lego. And I'm kind of into that. Like, obviously, I buy Lego and encourage Lego in the household for my daughter. But you're seeing it on a grander scale. You're seeing other kids like building and you're seeing the skill and the skill levels of different kids. And, you know, how their eyes light up when they see the Lego and they're encouraged by it. And it's
Well,
just...
at the end of the day, we're such a small target audience for Lego, and we're quite quick to forget that, aren't we? Like, the kids are what Lego is all about, really. Well,
Absolutely.
first and foremost, because, like you say, with a lot of us, I know, like, say, Whittaky, for example, he wasn't into Lego as much as a kid, but most of us, I'd say, we were playing with it as a kid. So that's how it all starts, isn't it? So we've got to make sure that the next generation are playing with it and doing what we were doing as kids, so that, you know, our hobby stays relevant and, you know, thrives even more. So doing these events, like you say, it's nice to see, you know, it's nice to see a lot of families there in it and sort of building that next generation of AFOLs.
No, absolutely. And it's a little bit like what happened with the whole Lego kind of almost disappeared off the face of the planet, but they picked up the license for Star Wars. And the only reason Star Wars was successful as it was, I don't think they would have been as successful if they were just applying for a new audience, like a new franchise would have. And you see this all the time now where they're saying, like, you know, new ideas are very rarely successful as old ideas, which I know Hive will rant about and say, and I get it. It is frustrating when everything's just a shoot off of something else or a sequel or extension of a license rather than new ideas. But the reason that was successful was because there was a strong adult audience who weren't quite aged out of it yet, or they weren't too old to kind of enjoy it and buy into it. And Lego is the same, because, you know, they've managed to keep going as long as they have because, you know, we're all passing it down. You know what I mean? It's, you know, we're passing that down onto the next generation. The next generation's going, because if a whole generation of kids missed out on Lego, or didn't like Lego, or Lego stopped making sets for a couple of years, well, you know, that doesn't mean it'll stop for us, but in the future it will, because when that generation won't have that nostalgia connected to it, that they won't pass on to their kids, and it'll just completely die. But no, like I said, and not just that, it does kind of, you know, you are seeing these kids and does remind you, and I think to myself, I would have loved to have gone to something like this when I was a kid. But it is just seeing, you know, speaking to like-minded adults who are into Lego. I've always said this before, but it's all well and good speaking to people in a Facebook group, which is where my love of Lego and the community started. It just wasn't enough for me because I'm an interactive, face-to-face talking person. We have the chat show. That's probably where it came from. Yes, there was some encouragement from other shows doing similar things. There was some encouragement from the community, or there was a gap in what I thought in the community for something in the UK in terms of an adult-themed chat show for Lego. Yes, all that. But more so than ever is that it was an opportunity for me to be able to talk about something I love out loud, rather than like in my own head, or, you know, me and Kirsty before that would sit down and do a set each. And I'd be like, oh yeah, talking about this and that. And you could just see she'd just glaze over, you know, as much all the will in the world. She'd just be like, yeah, it's just me building something, and then I put it on a shelf and then I move on.
It's so nice to be able to talk about like your passion to someone who understands exactly what you're talking about, and someone who feels the same. Because it's like you just said, it's with Kirsty, I have the same with my missus. Like, she's a bigger fan of Lego than like the average person, but like once a set's built, that's it. It's not like she bothered about looking at leaks or anything. If I show her something and say, look, you might like this, she'll say, yeah, that's cool. It's as far as it gets. You know what I mean?
And I think, you know, I saw that community sort of blossoming around us, just in a chat, and then obviously it grew doing the show. And I don't want to go too far off the point here, but I don't think Brick World would have been as fun and as exciting for me if I hadn't attended these Brick events prior to that, because that was my first opportunity. That first volunteering was the first time that I was out in the real world talking to people in person about other adults and children talking to me as well about Lego. That hadn't happened. That's never happened in my adult life. The last time I spoke to another person about Lego in person was to my brother when we were building Lego together when we were kids. That's it. So it'd been like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking about Lego out in the open. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like kind of when you swear for the first time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, look what just happened. Like, and I had that feeling. Like a lot of people probably maybe just pass that up and just think, well, whatever. But for me, it was just that. And there's probably people out there who still haven't had a chance to do that. So, they might exist in our chat or whatever, and they've never had a chance to kind of meet up with other people, or they might be lucky and have friends in who they're kind of close to. But for me, I think this, and I'm not knocking this. This is great. But I would always choose doing this around a table. Still maybe broadcasting live, but I would always prefer to do this around a table with you two or whoever sat in the room with me than I would do it. Do you know what I mean? And I used to watch those kind of, I say I used to, I've seen those shows, those talk shows where they've got the same setups we've got, but they're actually around a table, they're actually there in person. And I'm like, I'd love to be able to do something like that. And then, of course,
like an in-person conversation.
Absolutely.
It's different, and it is different. Although it's the same because we're still conversing, but it's hard to put into words, isn't it? But it is different having that face-to-face, that in-person connection is always different. And it's like I've said to you guys, recently. That's why I'm so looking forward to meeting up with everybody next year, because I speak to a lot of you guys nearly every other day maybe, but having that in-person connection is just 10 times different, isn't it?
Yeah, and I hope we can obviously extend that when we get to meet up at Bricktastic, and of course Muttley as well, because we know what he looks like now, but he's not widely known in terms of a face. But that does break the ice a little bit, so we get to meet him, and and I feel like it'll be like it was at Brickworld. It's like that ice that thin ice breaks kind of quickly, and you get to know each other. But then you kind of thrive in it, and then the opportunity to be able to do a live show from Brickworld, like obviously I took no equipment with me at all. Ostif said that we can borrow some of his, but turns out it was all kind of set up there, and I was just like, shall I ask Sean what's going to happen? And I was like, right, when? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And then it's just kind of like, but obviously we didn't get that same interaction from the audience that we would have liked, because they couldn't hear a word we were saying. So it didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. And that's something probably we'll work on if we were ever to go back.
Yeah.
But that was it for me. That was kind of the pinnacle, because we were there, we were chatting, we were in person. Me, Whittaky, Slurpee just sat on the table there, actually at a brick event, biggest brick event in the world. The three of us together for the first time in person, but and the people who were normally in our chat were actually stood there watching us, and it was just like, this is amazing. This is it was like hair standing up, and then that's why I did what I did. And I just if you ever go back and watch that, I encourage you to go back and watch it. It's not the best audio wise, because of course we were using borrowed equipment, and it was all kind of a little bit hodgepodge, unfortunately. Nobody's fault, just because we were just kind of working with what we had. But I was kind of up out the seat and just mingling with the people out there, sending people up. Because I knew people out there were like, you're at Brickworld. We can watch you three talking to each other. Great. It's a great experience for you to all three be there, but that kind of wears thin. The people who are watching have, after 10 minutes of seeing the three of you in person in the same spot at Brickworld, it's like, it's not exciting for us anymore. It might still be exciting for us, but it wasn't for them. And I just thought, we need to change this out. When do we ever get an opportunity to have live people coming up and on stage and being on the show, but actually here with us, touching and feeling them and being like, hey, this is Tyler from MatteBlackBricks, this is Ostif, and he's on the show. So I was just like, look, there's only 3 seats, there's only 3 mics, there's only 2 sets of headphones. We ain't going to be able to have like a running thing of people. So let's get up. And of course, I had to explain it to Slurpee and Whittaky, because we never really planned to do that. And they just thought that was going to be it. It's just going to be the 3 of us talking the whole time. And I thought, no, let's take this opportunity, because if I was watching from home, and I had watched from home in the past, I wouldn't want to see the same 3 heads talking. Great for them, but it's like, come on, you're there. Like, let's take every opportunity to get some of these people up, and we did. I like to think we did. And look, if you watch it long enough, you'll see almost everybody who was around pop up at some point, or walk by, say hello, come and be interviewed by one of us. And that was a great experience. Like I said, I did mention it last week as well, where I was out in the crowd, Slurpee was out in the crowd, Whitkey was out in the crowd, and
Yeah.
then Ken was on hosting and interviewing Crimson Toaster and Tyler, aka Pockets Master. And I
Yeah.
was just like, this is it. Like, I'm out here in the crowd of my own show watching someone else. So, do you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know. And anyway, it's going off the point, but I just really kind of come into being and, you know, flourish, if you like, mentally, physically, and just kind of like, you know, my aura is up. Like you could feel as if I've drank 10 Red Bulls. Not that I really know what they taste like, so don't tend to drink energy drinks. But what I would expect drinking 10 Red Bulls to feel like in an atmosphere where I'm with other people who've got a passion for Lego, regardless of their age. Obviously, preferably people I know and people I'm friends with who are my age. But still to see these kids, and they're like, "Oh, I want to try and I want to win this competition. And obviously you've got to be able to banter with the kids as well and make jokes with them and have a laugh and all the rest of it. And Joel and Whitkey will tell you that obviously I try to make it as entertaining as possible, but these kids are just like, this is like a day out for them, and I'm thinking I want to give back to them what I had on my first experience coming here, and my daughter had on her first experience, and obviously it's on me to do that, you know. So
Yeah.
you there's a level of responsibility there as well. People, you want these people, again, I'm future proofing this company essentially, because if they have a great experience, they're going to want to come back. And you know, if they got their money's worth, then absolutely, I like to think so. So yeah. So overall, that's kind of how it goes for me. I know not everyone's going to have that same kind of passion and vibe for things, but you know, if you're out there and you're considering it, whether you want to put your name down for volunteering or just attend a show, please do. I haven't got the list of shows for next year. There's only a few left for this year. Normally they do a leaflet with a poster on which shows the events. But if you go onto the website, which we will show you shortly, you can see exactly where they're going to be. And obviously, you know, try and arrange some time to go. It's a half day, a nice half day, or, you know, a full day if you really want to kind of soak up every experience. And I say a full day, 10 till 4. So
it tempts
really
me, to be honest, just the thought of having like a 35 or 50 quid voucher at the end. I mean, like I'll probably go to an event anyway, spend a few hours there. Why not just help out, you know, get the benefits of, you know, it's a day for the kids, I suppose, as well. And yeah, it sounds appealing to me. I wouldn't say I'd definitely do it, but, you know, after hearing, you know, the enjoyment you got out of it, I suppose it does make it a bit more appealing. And now I would probably think about it a bit more, because these places do need the volunteers, don't they? And it's, you know, and it's for a community, and you might meet more like for like people that are local to you, which is in the Lego community is hard to come by. There's not like there's not many people, if any, who enjoy Lego like on the level I do, local, that I know. So say if I went to like the Birmingham Brick Festival next year, volunteered, you're going to meet pretty like for like people. So then you get more in-person connections, and yeah, it does sound quite appealing, to be honest.
Well, I'll go into it a little bit, because I do want to get onto displaying a little bit, and let sort of Joel get a word in edgeways. But because that's an area I don't really know much about, and I would like to know about and obviously talk about. But what I will say is that I spoke to some people, because I was kind of forced into a more senior role at the most recent one, and that's because they were short of volunteers, but also every other volunteer there pretty much was their first time or second or third time. So they were like to me, "Look, are you confident just running the kids' events?" Well, the first time I did the kids' event, there was 3 of us, and one woman was running. We were just helping out, and then every other time I did it after that, there was at least 2 or 3 of us. But she was like, "Can you do it? We're short people. Would you be able to do it on your own?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go. I like to think I did a good job." But afterwards, they talked about one of the other managers. I say the managers. There's more senior guys who does a lot of the planning, and they do run some of the stuff themselves as well. But they're kind of, you know, floating around. He was like, "You should, try and put your name forward to do one of the management things. And I thought, well, I assumed for that you'd have to be like, you'd have to work so many shows or whatever. And he's like, oh, not necessarily. He said, but it's a slightly better rate of pay. He said, but you need to be experienced in every area of the show. And I said, well, I've done everything now. So he's like, you should. So I'm going to message about that as well at some point when I get time. But again, worst they're going to say is no, and I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But again, I was talking to the guys then. I'm like, I'm come from a background of management role. This was a nice change for me, for other people to boss me about. But at the same time, when you got the opportunity to kind of lead and take something and own it yourself, it was natural for me, and it was easy for me, probably easier than for most other people. But then I'm like, I'm slowly kind of, I'm falling back into type. The whole point of doing this was to have a bit of a break and be the dog's body or the canine torso for a bit. But then I'm like, oh no, slowly see. But I mean, it's, with some people, it's just inherent. Like for me, it's like I always see things and I'm like, how could I do that better? Even if I don't vocalize it, how could I do that better? What can I do next time? Because it's just what I had bred into me over the years, I guess. So that opportunity where somebody says to me, oh, well, you should try, and I'm thinking, oh yeah. And I'm thinking, hang about, whoa, I don't need to have a think about this before putting my name down for something. I'm just falling back into another role of responsibility when it's supposed to just be for fun, But no, look, in terms of displaying, Joel, talk us through the whole process, because I literally know nothing about it, and I'd like to know. So talk us through, like, how many shows you've done now, what the step is, how do you kind of, is it via email? Just talk us through it as if we've just landed on the planet and we wanted to display.
Right, so it's pretty much just like the same as like volunteering to like apply. Like you just go on the website and then like they just have like this kind of form you just fill out, and then you submit it, and then they'll like either accept or deny you. And then you can pick like if you want like Lego vouchers, Brickfest vouchers, or like to donate this to like charity. Basically, it's free Lego. But yeah, normally with the Brickfest vouchers, you can like go up to the pick a brick like section at the front and exchange it for cash. So I've just been doing that every time.
Right, that's right. Yeah, they've told us that. Yeah.
But yeah, like when you get there, you get like this little like plastic kind of bag with like your name on, and then they have like do not touch signs and like all the other kind of Brickfest stuff.
I know. I've seen those as well. Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of easy. You just set up and then you're just kind of done, really.
So when you do the application form, do you have to put in there like what you plan to, what size table you want, how many marks, what kind of marks, or anything like that?
Yeah, so you have to do like how many tables you want, how many like sort of angles the build can be like viewed from. You also have to put in the size of your mark. You have to take photos of your marks and all that kind of stuff, right?
Is there a maximum or a minimum that you can just like? Can you literally turn up with whatever you want?
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure like if you can fill like the majority of the table, you'll get like 50. But if you can do like half a table, then you'll get like £20 or something.
Right.
Like if there's a lot of empty space, you'll get about 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do up to I think 4 or 5, or like wherever's like necessary for the tables.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I've seen people asking for double tables, so that's a table that's too deep because of the size of their mark. I'm assuming that is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get 50 for that one, and then like the ones behind you get 20.
Right. Okay. So what's the process? Because this seems to be different for each one I've worked in terms of, because some of them I've gone there and they've been set up the night before. Others I've come in and they're kind of coming in. So you just kind of rock up, set up.
Yeah, that's just kind of it, really. It's normally just really early in the morning. Just go there, set up, and then you're just kind of done, really. In terms of like the builds, like for the most part, you can just leave them unattended, but you can also attend them if you want.
Right. So there's no because what Brickfest does is worth kind of mentioning at this point is what they do is and this you might have to highlight a little bit, fill in some gaps for me, Joel, because I know they've said that there's mocks that we kind of rent.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
So some of them are from people who work at the event, whether they work as volunteers. I don't really know. I just, some of the names, ring a bell. So I know that one guy, Mike, he tends to be at every event I've been at. He wasn't at the most recent one. I know he does mocks because I remember chatting to him and I was doing the kind of, the tile type things me and you were trying to do, where it's like a puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's Mike. So he made those. So I was like fiddling around with those, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of them?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, they're pretty good. Good idea for the kids." And he's like, "Oh, I made them. They're my mocks." Like I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't realize you could." He said, "Oh, yeah, a lot of the mocks around here that we rent are from people who volunteer or work for the company." He said, "So." He said, "Have you got any mocks? Do you want us to?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "I can't get to every event." He said, "Oh, no. What we do is we put them out." He said, "So if you look around, the tables that are unattended that we put our own out of," he said, "that we rent them. So we pay you to have your mock with us. And then when we go to
Yeah.
different events, we fill up any free space. So if we've got, say, 40 tables and when we have 20 people displaying, the other 20 will be from mocks that we rent. And we just kind of rotate them around so they don't see the same thing. I mean, most people aren't traveling up and down the country looking at going to these events anyway. So they just kind of mix them up a little bit. But what I couldn't work out is, do they get paid only when they're displayed, or do they get paid regardless?
So pretty much like you just like pretty much so you build like a big mock or like something that can fill up a table, then like you apply to rent, and then if they accept it, then you have to make like custom packaging for it so they can just easily like disassemble and then reassemble it. Then at each convention they decide to display it, like if they got free space, you get paid £25. So I think the most anyone's ever made is like 700 in like a year or something from like
Yeah, I
them
remember
not being
hearing about that.
rented.
I
And like
remember
pretty much
hearing
you
about that.
don't have to do anything once it's rented out to them. You just make like 25 quid a week.
Yeah. So
Almost.
that's actually quite a good idea. I mean, if you I mean, I've unpacked and packed away these mocks, and I'll have to say I've never damaged or broken anything. I've been very, very careful with it because obviously I know what goes into this. But not all the volunteers there are necessarily Lego fans. A lot of them. Yeah, this is what I was going to say. Is what I've noticed is a lot of kind of people on disability and stuff like that. So not only are they limited to what they can do, which I'm not going to kind of comment on that because a volunteer is a volunteer, but they seem to have. I think it's because they're in a situation where they can work voluntarily, but they can't get a paid job. So to get like extra money, I don't actually know because I don't really want to pry and talk to these people, but I just do find at every event I go to, there's always kind of at least a small percentage of them who have got some kind of disability, wheelchair or whatever, which is great. Like they're out there volunteering as well. Not that they're different to any other people, but they're trying their best to kind of get involved. But I don't know, like, where it tends to be those guys who I speak to that they don't really know much about Lego, or so I don't know whether it's like it might even be like a work placement that they're on or something. I don't, like I said, I've never really pried. It's not really relevant to the thing anyway. All I'm saying is that essentially when you got these volunteers, you tend to either get people like me, and I've spoken to a couple of other people who are content creators who do it, or people who've got Instagram accounts or whatever, or they don't know anything about Lego at all. And that includes some of the management. Like they're like, well, I know about Lego from working with it, but I'm not like, oh, don't touch it at home. And that was kind of weird to me. Anyway, the point being is that I have seen some of these mocks get damaged, being put away, and I don't necessarily mean I've seen somebody damage them on purpose. I'm not saying that, but I have seen some of them like, oh, there's a piece missing from this. I remember putting away a mock and thinking, this piece is missing from this, and I went to the guy and said, oh, look, I think somebody's might have pinched this. He's like, oh, no, it's been missing for ages. It fell off like ages ago at a show like last year. And I'm like,
now you mentioned that, sorry to interrupt. I was reading in the chat earlier. Not sure if he's still around now, but KO, is it King Goldendorf?
mm-hmm.
I asked in the chat, has anyone been to any of these Brit festivals in the UK? And he said he displayed there earlier on in the year, and he kept having kids like messing with his mocks and stuff. So it's and like stealing pieces, and he said it's just put him right off doing it again now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because from my experience, I don't see kids, but of course, if I'm around, they're probably not going to be. But I don't tend to see that. The way they set a lot of these things up, a lot of them you can't really do anything to by looking at anyway. Like I did mention to Joel that I'd gone past his table while he wasn't there at the last one, and some woman was kind of rubbing her hands across the foliage that he had just to kind of feel it. I don't think she was trying to mean any harm, but there is a sign there saying don't touch the mocks, and that's exactly what she's doing. So she might not think so I think you do get a lot of that, but he's probably right. I think, you know, there are going to be kids out there. I never see gangs of kids coming in to the event, and I don't think you can. I think you've got to be with a paying adult. So what it'll be parents who've just kind of let them go off.
Kids will be kids at the end of the day, won't they? But
Yeah.
it is like, it's on the parents, that isn't it? They should be making sure that the kids, you know, obviously they know better, and two, they're in sight of their kids what they're doing, and having respect for the mop builders.
No, you're right, and that's where they're going to learn it better than anywhere. But I do think that, like, it isn't policed by anybody, and it's impossible to be policed. I think they do make it clear that you if you leave your mock, you leave it at your own risk. You know, you've got the opportunity to attend it, and if you're renting one out, of course, you know you're not going to be at every event. So if it turns, you know, if you pick it up, say 2 years later, and this piece is missing or whatever, then you're like, well, that's essentially what we're paying you for. You know, it's not. If it was just destroyed and there was nothing left of it, that's a different story. But I ain't going to expect that any mock I give them for a couple of years to go out, God knows how many shows, it's not going to be in the same condition it was. And that's and one of the points I was trying to arrive at is that that's just from it being loaded and unloaded and loaded and unloaded and loaded and so many times. That's gonna happen to anybody's Lego. So no matter how careful you are, and of course if you've got it out open to the public, then yeah. And of course I know Joel tends to kind of knock about at his table, but he does have a bit of a wander as well. I think the general consensus is that if you're next to another guy who's got a mock, then they kind of look after each other's.
But if you're next to a reseller, don't trust them.
I was just about to say, do you want to? I'm going to have a quick little look through the chat in case I missed anything. But do you want to tell them about?
Am I allowed to go on a rant?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Right. So pretty much, I was like next to two resellers in Cardiff, and the one guy next to me, I just like, I don't even know if I can say the words on the stream. just no. Pretty much, like, he just left some of his rubbish on my table, and then he like literally moved my mocks without asking to like sell a big set to someone. Like, he just grabbed the one mock and just moved it so he could put a set on my table, just so he could sell it. And then he was stood right in front of my table as like he was trying to like get people to like go to his stall. I don't know. I just hated him. He was so not nice. And then as we was like unpacking, like, you open like this one box, and then like kind of like the lid of this box, it just destroyed one of my mocks, like entirely, and he just didn't care. So yeah, if you Dylan, if you're out there, screw you. That's my message.
Dylan,
avoid Dylan at all costs.
No shout out for Dylan.
So yeah, just gonna reveal one of the secrets. He has alcohol underneath. Well, not underneath the table, but I know he had alcohol on him. So. Haha. Oh, you've gone on mute.
I might have to report him for that, mate. But so I'm just going through a couple of things. I see you put in the chat, Nimble, but I also pinned it to the top of the chat anyway. So whether they're replying to me or you, I'm not sure. But either way, Muttley went to his local event and was pretty disappointed. Very few displays, mainly seller stalls. Yeah, so. Like I said, I do get this comment, and it's right. Obviously, I can't talk for every show because I haven't been to every show. But I think what the issue is that, like, even when you go to Brickworld, right? Brickworld is a massive amount of sellers. There's also a massive amount of, but I think people expect it there. At this event, people seem to be surprised. Like, I've spoken to people at the event, and they're like, "Oh, there seems to be loads of people doing reselling," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Lego convention," and they're like, "Yeah, but there's loads of people just selling Lego." And I'm like, there's only tends to be three things you get at a Lego convention, and that's activities for the attendees, people reselling, and people displaying. So if you've got one of those things missing, it's not really a convention anyway. So I'm not saying that that's what Muttley was surprised that people were selling, but if the percentage is off, then that can be kind of, when you go there and it's like two things going on and everything else is people selling, then it can be a bit tedious. But you've got to understand that there's a lot of people who go to these events just for the selling.
Well,
you know, the kids don't.
Funny you say that, because I've been to two that have and the first time, both at the same venue, both Birmingham Brick Festival. The first time round, I went with the missus and took the little one, and it felt a bit more welcoming for families, and there was more stuff going on. There was more mocks. It seemed like there was more staff there greeting and sort of engaging with people and asking questions, and sort of it just felt a bit more orientated for family. And then I went to the one I went to this year, like I say, same venue, same event. It was pretty much, I would say, 90% resellers and maybe like 10% mocks, and that was fine for me because I went with the intention I was always buying stuff for Bluestone, like the project I had going on. So I weren't there for the mocks. Obviously the mocks are brilliant, and that was just my own personal reason to be there. I just wanted to go there, get bits that I maybe wouldn't normally see if I was searching online. So I was happy for that. But then I come away from it and I thought, you know what, this event was disappointing in a sense. If I had took like a family there, or if I was there with kids, I'd have think that was pretty naff. Like I'd be pretty disappointed with, and it's not expensive, the ticket anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But I'd be coming away from it thinking, right, it's literally just about buying and selling Lego. If I'd only been to that one this year, but because I had the first experience, I know, well, actually they're not all like that. There's definitely events where it's going to be more orientated for families. So it only takes one experience to put people off, doesn't it? One family might have gone to that one I went to earlier on in the year and thought, sod that, I ain't going to that again. It was a waste of time. But if they'd went to the one before that, they'd know it's actually a great event and just give it another go.
Yeah. No, obviously, like I said, I can't speak for all of them, but what I do know is that from speaking to the organizers and from seeing like the floor plans and stuff, they do try to have a nice mixture. Like I said, they've got these mocks to rent. So even if there's not enough displayers, they'll fill that space with them. But what I think they do is they open it to vendors first, because the vendors pay to sell there, whereas mock displays, they pay them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think they'd ever, I think it'd be stupid to just be like, oh, well, all the space has been taken by vendors. And like I said, again, the main customer for an event like this is young families. Specifically, I wouldn't say specifically, but a lot of the thing we get is one parent, single parent families as well. It's a lot more single parents because they're trying to find something to do with their kids while the other parent is in work or whatever. And it's designed for kind of 5 years plus. Yes, teenagers can go. Yes, adults can go on their own. Adults with an older child. You see all sorts right there. You see a lot of people with disabilities with their carers and all sorts of ages and whatever walks of life. But the largest percentage, and I'll say this as well, is women alone, possibly with a grandparent. I'd say like more than 50% of the customers is middle-aged women or mothers with at least 2 children, and those 2 children are kind of very, very young. You're not talking like less than 10, and that's kind of the majority, and that's obviously the main crux. And obviously the family ticket is probably the best value for money, but that's what we sell more of than anything else, because it still works out cheaper even if they haven't got 2 adults there, kind of thing. So we don't have a lot of space for parents to sit. There's no kind of sitting area where you can just sit and leave the kids, so the parents are kind of forced to go around and engage with the children and all the rest of it. We have had people complain about that there's no kind of sitting area, lunch area, that kind of thing. And it's like, well, no, it's supposed to be like interactive, and just people just kind of sat around. And the other thing is that a lot of people miss this, is that they do actually have adult events there. Like we run 3 activity events for children and the same activity events for adults, and they're only for adults. Like kids can't take part in them at all. So it's like things like building the highest tower or sticking the most amount of studs to a base plate as possible, as quick as possible. Sorting, you get a bag of Lego, you've got to sort it, build it in the bag. Like I said, there's loads of different events, and they just kind of scramble them up. They do like a Lego Robot Wars type thing with these RC cars. You can play in the games. You got the pick a
It's why I
brick.
go Arabian.
Oh, I don't know. I had the photos for those as well, but I don't know what I did with them.
Is it pretty standard procedure for the events to have a like a gaming setup as well, like where you can play the games?
It is, but one of the events I worked that we had to take it down because the pat testing wasn't up to date on some of the consoles,
Right?
and there was no cable nearby. Because again, you got to be like when we were running these events, I was saying to Mark last week, is that you got to kind of anything that there's a danger the children could be left at, whether the parents decide to do it or not, has to be like usually the furthest thing from the exit. So where we were trying to set up the gaming area, where there's only kind of one seat per console, so you don't have people crowding around or all sat down there and like eating their lunch near the consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's usually the furthest in-house, so the kids are less likely to kind of wander from there. And then there was no electric sockets there. So we wanted to run an extension. They were like, no, we haven't got clearance for that. So we ended up just not doing that. After we put it all together, we had to take it all apart again. So, but generally that's at every event. So like I said, I can't sell it for people like Muttley and Kingo who might have gone as like, adults or middle-aged guys, and they only want to go and see mocks because it isn't that kind of event. You've got to go somewhere where like Brickworld. But even then, if Brickworld was a 1 day 10 till 4 event, there wouldn't be that much stuff. It's only that much because they get to leave their mocks there for 5 or 6 days. So you've got to kind of you're dumbing down the price, you're dumbing down how regular it is, in that it's regular rather than you've got to wait once a year and travel halfway around the world. You're dumbing down how small the venue is and how cheap it is, then your expectations got to lower as well. So, but I don't know. I think like I said, it's aimed at families. But if I was just trying to look for King Oldendorf's one now. What did he say?
It's definitely aimed for families, but don't be like coming from my experience where I've been on 2 occasions for 2 different things. First time round for a family day, second time round as a lone adult going to buy, because at the end of the day, all of us adults who are watching this stream now or who are into Lego, we all want to buy Lego. We all want to look at Lego. I really enjoyed myself going on my own, not looking at many mocks, just looking at Lego that you ain't going to walk down the high street and see it, because it's like you said earlier, Mark, we ain't got the bricks and minifig stores here. We ain't got like secondhand Lego sellers in store. Like, great, you can look at all this stuff online, Bricklink, whatever, but I come across so many different things that I'd never seen before, and to see it in person, it's always just like, oh, this is cool, because we're fans of Lego. That's it was, even if I didn't spend any money, which I did, I would have had a good day anyway, just looking at things that I probably would never have seen in person before. And so don't be put off if you're listening to this and you think, I don't have a young family, it's not for me. Definitely, if you've got one local to you, and that's the beauty of this Brit Festival, there's a lot of them going on in different areas. So I bet you're never more than an hour away from one. I'd say definitely just give it a go, because
well, they did 60 shows last year, and this year they're on for 80. For a calendar year. So it is growing. They're obviously doing something right. But what I will say is that I was speaking to a chap. I think he was probably maybe kind of Whittaky's age, I'd guess. And I was down by the doorway and I had a bit of banter with him coming in, and he's coming out and he's like, oh, not much here really for me. And I was like, oh, right. I said, did you put your name down for any of the activities? Oh no, it's all for kids. I said, no, we got adult activities as well. He's like, oh yeah, no, but it's kids stuff. I'm not going to build a. I said, well, you've got to get involved. What about oh no, I don't do computer games. Okay. What about the pick a brick up? He said, oh no, I like to buy new sets. I don't buy pieces and parts. I said, don't you do your own mock or anything? I'm not really into mocks. I like looking at the displays, he said, but I don't really. You can't really call it. And I was like, okay, so what about some of this? Oh, no, I only like to buy it. I thought, what have you come for then? You're not going to be. It'd be like me going to a Barbie convention and being annoyed because there's no Lego there. Do you know what I mean? It's like
we're British. We're gonna moan. We love to moan, don't we?
It's just like, I wish I could have a refund and all that. And I'm thinking, everything it says on the website that it is. You know, it doesn't say on the website it'll be this percentage or this percentage. I am really surprised that King. I found his comment now. It says 80% vendor, 10% displayer. Like you said, for some people that's a dream come true because that's all they do. I don't know why that's necessarily a bad thing, especially because they don't advertise there's going to be any other percentage. I still kind of curious as to what the other 10% was, but yeah. So if it's, you know, if he was only there to see displays, I get it. But what I'm saying is that I think I've enjoyed it most because I never had an expectation on it being one thing or another. I just knew it was three things. And every show I've been to, it's been three things. And like I said, I get involved in everything, even if I wasn't volunteering. Like when I went as a visitor, with or without my daughter, I would have done all the events. I would have gone and bought some pick-a-brick, found some sets that I like. And for me, obviously, I do tend to buy pre-loved sets. But I'll show this off because I've shown this before, but I managed to pick up this. I don't tend to buy like Lego adjacent stuff very often, but I saw this and I thought it was actually really cool. This Lego Vader light thing.
Get
I
it
remember
on.
one that down in Swansea.
Yeah, so it's not sealed. The tags have been broken, but you can see clearly it's never been out of the packaging. The batteries haven't even oxidized. It's crisp. And again, I don't even really care about that because I'm actually going to.
Can I flex something?
But that was a really good price. What's that?
You use my bag that I got from a Lego convention for 20 quid. It's worth
let me
500 quid.
Show it off a little bit, mate.
So like on the inside.
Isn't that actually worth quite a lot of that?
There's two on eBay for 500, so
Yeah.
it's like all red on the inside.
Well, what's that inside there, mate?
And then this is the
What is
Joelbrix
that?
Mock banner available on the Joelbrix eBay store. Which is all going to buy it. Perfect plug.
Yeah.
You can like plan your mocks on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm privileged to have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get you to sign mine as well? I can't remember. The bag.
We don't know if this is it. But yeah, it's like all red on the inside. It's cool as well.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it's got a Lego logo on the front. So yeah.
So wasn't that given away to? It was like a Christmas, wasn't it? A staff gift or something?
Yeah, you can only really get it if you're like a designer in Denmark, and then they just give you this for like your computer. So
Nice.
yeah, I managed to get this for like 20 quid.
Yeah, that's a steal. And that's the thing is that you can get things there. I mean, a lot of people say things are overpriced, and they are, because if you saw a set there that you wanted, and it's an old set, let's say the UCS Naboo Starfighter with the chrome pieces, I could probably, let's say, it's on, for argument, I don't even know what it goes for, but let's say it's, someone's selling one on eBay for 200 quid, right? And maybe a used one on Facebook Marketplace for 150. There you might be spending 220 on it. The only difference is, I wouldn't call that overpriced because you're talking, if they was charging 500 quid for it, no one's touching it, right? So, but if it's, and I'm using 200 as an example, so it's 200 pound, the best place you've seen it, and they're charging 220, I would still pay that 220 for several reasons, 3 reasons in particular. One is that it's been looked after by somebody who's a Lego collector or seller, regardless, they've looked after it, right? You don't know what kind of state is going to come in. You're not paying any kind of postage or anything like that. It's not going to just not turn up or get damaged in the post. There's none of that risk. And the other reason is you can see it and touch it and feel it, and it's there, and it's a real product, and you can see the seals aren't broken, and you can shake the box and feel, and you can't put a price. Well, you can put a price on that, but sometimes that to get something in hand like that and have that experience of buying a set, if it's just something you could pick up elsewhere, it's not even worth talking about. But if it's something like that, where I'd want the experience of being like, I remember, like with this, and this isn't something I'd been after. I didn't even know it existed. So it's not like a collector's piece for me. But the experience of going up and seeing that and having a chat with the guy about it, and then I was like, right, I'll go away and think about it. And I Googled how much they were going for, and I was like, it's about the same price. But I know it's there, I can see it. And I thought, I'll snap that up. It's a cool little set. And of course, same with a few of the other things I bought, is the experience, the hunt of the buy for you. And if you look around the tables, a lot of people are selling minifigures. and the custom pieces and stuff like that. Again, you can't get that anywhere else in the UK. So I think, and you know, don't shoot me for saying this, but I think within reason, they have the right to upcharge a little bit because it's a niche thing. You
To be
can't
fair, they
just
do have
walk.
to.
They're
They
not
do have to pay like
fraudulent.
90 quid for a table, so it kind
Yeah,
of
so
makes sense.
yeah, so they got to make their money a little bit, but also you can just go and buy face to face over the desk from a person a used or an older or a tired set anywhere else in the country. You can do it in the US in places like Bricks and Minifigures. They don't have that here, so it's like they have the right within reason. Like I said, if they're charging stupid prices, then you're stupid if you pay them. But a lot of the people, they'll take a bargain as well, especially if you like go around the tables as
Don't
people
be
are
scared to
enthusiastic.
haggle. Do
No,
not be
absolutely.
scared to haggle.
I
I
tried
do
that
it
one.
all the time.
I
I'm the
haggled for
last
two.
one.
I haggled for two things, and both of them said no. We want to because they had the MIDI scale Millennium Falcon, the original version, and a guy had it there for 50 quid, sealed in a box, and I was like, "Whoa, that's good." I think that's pretty much how much it retailed for. You can't get that anymore. Not many people have got a set like that in a box still. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Oh, you know, can I let me give you 40 for this?" And he's like, well, actually, he said, I've only just got it. He said, that's the first time he's been out at a convention at 50 quid, he said. And I was like, yeah, but the convention's nearly over and you haven't sold it. I said, so I'm prepared to give you 40 quid for it. And he was like, no, I want to give it another chance of 50 quid at another convention. Well, fair enough. I'll let you take it away then. I wasn't going to back down. I mean, I was happy to pay 50, but because he backed, I thought, no, I didn't need it that badly. It's only going to go in a pile. So
Haggling's there's a true art to it, and you've just got to remember the worst that they can say is no, and then you're in no worse position than you was before you even saw that Lego set. So don't be scared to haggle, especially in Britain. We're used to it. I just want to see like Mayo put like an interesting message in. He said like his preferred ratio for events is 60% mocks, 30% vendors, and 10% activities. And I just thought, what sort of ratio would you go out the three things? Mocks, vendors, activities?
Well, I was just reading a comment in Nimble's, and this is an interesting question, and a very good one, because Nimble said here that even there aren't even any kid activities for kids to get busy with. Now that's strange, and I'm questioning whether it was actually Brickfest he went to, because from my experience, because obviously I'm in a Facebook group with these guys, and they show pictures from every event, and obviously the planning for every event, and the floor plans for every event. I haven't seen one that doesn't run the exact same events over and over and over and over again. And it's like, so it's strange to think that somehow Kingo managed to go to the one event where there was no activities for kids, and I'm thinking that's really bizarre. So I'm not sure about that. That's kind of weird. That's kind of unusual because I didn't know that. I've never been to one that's not that, and I've never heard of one that didn't have anything for the kids to do. So it's strange. Maybe it was the venue that wouldn't let them do it for whatever reason. But for me, I think it should be, of those three things, there should be 33%. It should be split right down the middle
Really?
evenly three ways, because I like all of those things. I like to do a bit of shopping. I don't get a chance to do it much because I'm volunteering. But in terms of what I would go as and I've got to answer the question as the person who's going. It's easy for me to say, well, other people should. No, my opinion is, as going as I am, is that I like there to be some vendors, because I have always picked something up and got a good bargain or a good deal, and of course I get the benefit as well of walking around after everybody's left and then manage to get a lower price, and a lot of the places offer you a discount because your staff. Like, I've been looking at tables before, just curious, and they're like, oh, is a discount for staff, mind? And I'm like, okay, and didn't buy anything, but they tend to offer you that, so it's good for that. But that's not really why I'm there. My primary reason for there is to help and engage the kids and the families and all that kind of thing, and that's why I get most benefit from. But then the mocks is like the thing I aspire to, because I look at them and I'm fascinated by looking at them, or interested in seeing what work has gone into them and get ideas from them and things like that. But I wouldn't want to see just mocks. Like, I went to Brick World and I never walked the full hall. I know none of us did because we just got so busy doing other things. But even if I'd had an extra day where I had nothing else planned, I wouldn't have walked that hole completely because I enjoyed it. And I said this last week with Mark on the Brick World episode. I enjoyed the box, but for me, like I didn't come into this community like surrounded by mocks and things like that. So it's not, I don't find it as interesting as some of the other elements of the Lego community. So I love them. Don't get me wrong; they're amazing. But for me, it wasn't. I didn't need to tick the box. Like Slurpee was like, "I'm going to get up at 2:00 in the morning and go and walk the mock hall when nobody's around." He felt like he wouldn't be satisfied unless he'd done more of that than as much of that as he wanted. I wasn't that bothered. I would have been gutted if I didn't see any. But I wasn't like, it wasn't like a measure for me of how much of them I need to see. So for me, they're not that big a thing, but they are important as well. So yeah, for me, it's 30. And I've been lucky enough that at all the events I've worked, and I say all, I've attended 6, 5 of them as a volunteer. It has been a 33% split. Whether that's just good timing or whether it's just because it just happened to be that way in the ones I went to, I don't know. But I don't know. What about you?
Like you've got to sort of answer it what's right and then what's morally right, then what would I want. Me personally, I'm not gonna say I think it should be 30 because the kids' activities when I went, obviously I'm not bothered. When my lad's a little bit older and he's more able to do these sort of things, then I'd probably say I want less vendors there, because otherwise, if I'm taking him around this event and there's just vendor, all he's going to be doing is saying, "Oh, can I have this? Can I have that?" Which is, which is great, but it's not what you want to take kids there for. So you probably morally right, I'd say probably third split between mocks, vendors and activities is probably bang on the money, mate.
How about you, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, I mainly go for like the mocks and then like partially like the vendors. Like I like to buy stuff, although I feel like with vendors, like there needs to be like a good variety of stuff. Like there needs to be like quite a few places that do like custom prints, custom sets, the custom figures, like that kind of stuff. Like there's just way too many that just buy and resell sets. Like it's very boring.
There's not a lot of custom sellers there, is there? Like
No.
stuff.
No.
Which
Definitely
there's definitely a bit of a gap in the market, I'd say, for these sort of UK events, for someone to come into these events, set up their own stall and have their own like UK customs. I see a lot of the guy, I've got no idea what his name is, but he makes, and I see him I've been to like 4 different conventions and they're like different organisers.
Nexus. Yeah, it's like the blue curtains, right?
I'm not sure.
Like
He sells like loads of like Star Wars lightsaber builds, like all his own custom builds. He sells like guns and stuff and big swords.
I know who you're on about. I don't know his name, but I know what you're on about.
And he seems to be like pretty popular every time I see him there. And he's literally selling his own builds. He's essentially selling his own mocks in kits, so you can buy all the bricks and comes with the instructions. And I think like every time I see him, he's really busy, and I think that's brilliant because it's sort of different. It sort of grabs your attention a little bit more for someone like me who, and like you say, Joel, a lot of the stuff is at these vendors is just the same. So when I see him selling his own mocks as building kits, I just think it's great. It'd definitely be great to see more stuff like that. Yeah,
there is a guy that does that I want to quickly give a shout out to. He's called MatteBlackBricks. I'm pretty sure you did buy something from him, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I went to national brick events like I think 2 months like before, and like I remembered him because like he came up and he was just like asking questions about my mocks and stuff, and he was like really nice and we had like a good chat. And then I saw him there, but I didn't realize he was MatteBlackBricks.
Right. Yeah.
I just thought he was like a random visitor, and then he was really nice. I got the Gareth Bale from him for my dad. But, yeah, he does like really cool custom sets.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm
one.
gonna show. I'm gonna flash up what I sold, not what I bought now. So this question was quite interesting, and I am seeing some other comments. So people saying the event, they went to the events and it was kind of sad, and it's really weird. Like that other people haven't experienced what I've experienced, and that is kind of sad because like I said, if I'd just been to the ones in Wales, I'd say, oh, maybe it's just luck of the Welsh. But I obviously went to the one in London as well, and I saw the exact same thing. So yeah, like I said, I must have just been lucky, or you guys have just been unlucky. But with this, what Mayo's saying here, essentially, it's quite small to read on the screen, but if they operate under the business model that we pay for mocks and vendors pay us, then you incentivize more vendors than mocks. Surely it's the other way around.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's the other way around because I get what you're saying in that, but it's not incentivized. It incentivizes it for the people running the event, but that's not really an incentive then, is it? Because it's just business. The incentive would be if it was the other way around. So what that means is that if you want to display a mock, the company will pay you to display your mock. Whereas if you want to sell, you have to pay the company to be able to sell at the event. So I'm not sure whether you misunderstood how we said it, Mayo, or what, but it's the other way around because it incentivizes people, mock builders, to come. And like I said, there's only so much space available for people selling anyway. Otherwise, on all these tables that are empty because they haven't got enough mock builders, they put more vendors, but they don't. They put rented displays, which they don't have to put out because every time they put them out, they're having to pay somebody. So they only use them if they need to. So I think the way the room is set out, again, depends on when you've been, because I've only attended in as a volunteer and able to see what goes on behind the scenes throughout since October last year till October now. So the last 12 months, rolling month. So unless you guys have gone prior to that and it's changed or a different venue, I don't know. It's really bizarre. But everyone I've been to, there's been like set place. And the guys, like I've spoken to the guys and they're like, oh yeah, we've got 25 mocks to put out, rented mocks to put out. So can you start putting them out? And I'm like, oh, how can we have so many? We only had 10 of the last one. It's like, oh yeah, because we didn't have as many mock builders at this event. So I'm like, so to me, it's like that space is kind of almost reserved for mock people, whether it be people wanting to give their mocks or them putting out their displays. So I don't know. I don't. If that ratio is off, maybe I can understand, but I don't really get that. So kind of weird.
I am pretty curious though, like if Brickfest will like kind of expand into like different countries too. Like they could just like go like all out in Europe or like something like that.
Well, it's funny you say that.
It's quite complicated for stuff like that, though, isn't it? Because I asked Mark from Brickworld if he'd ever think about doing, like, coming to the UK or hosting an event somewhere else in the world, and he just said it's just so difficult and so expensive. It won't work out.
But what if he had people who already lived in the UK, who had some experience at events, who wanted to kind of help him expand it? Or
that's
just
kind
saying.
of what I was gonna suggest, like for Brickfest, like they just kind of like find a group of people in like a different country, and then they kind of license out like the name Brickfest to them, and then like all the branding and stuff, and then they can do it like in their own countries. I don't know if that would work or not. A bit like how like I don't know, fast food does like franchising and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you say that actually, Nimble, because I was thinking about asking Mark that last week, and I just think the conversation changed direction, and I never got around to it, and then remembered it afterwards. But I was like, I really wanted to say to him, like, what would it take? And I know it's not going to happen to overnight, but what would it take for you to kind of establish that business model with people you trust over in the UK? And obviously, it would start off with one venue, one location. And, obviously, if we got enough coverage, we could probably get all the UK guys to come to it. And it would be, I don't know, 100-strong event, let's say. But you'd expand from there. And obviously, just hearing Mark's story about Brickworld, and that it started in a little hall and it's progressed to what it is today. And that's one event a year. So I'm just thinking, I don't know, I have kind of been involved in logistics of events like that before. Never like at the very, very top, but at different levels. I just think, I don't know. could I make it work? Could that be my opus? Could that be my next opus? But anyway, we'll get there. Maybe when I'm retired. But no, look, I want to get into a little bit about. I pre-uploaded everything because I didn't want to try to do it in case I was on my own during the stream. So, whoops. So I'll have to just kind of boot us into the corner a little bit because I didn't do these as overlays. So the way I've loaded it up is kind of a little bit odd because, yeah, there you go. So we're kind of cut off a little bit by it, but ignore that. Wait a second. If I put us at the bottom, it'll be better. There you go. So anyway, so look, this is obviously my brick stack, and Joe's going to show his off in a second as well. I had an extra one, an extra Halloween one for doing I think it was the Cardiff one or the London one, I can't remember. And they change up slightly every year. There are designs on the back as well, but yeah, it's just a cool little kind of incentive to have it. Obviously, there's my lanyard with my crew badge on, and then I also wear a couple of my pins on it just to kind of personalize it as well, so they'll make it a little bit different.
That's cool.
But I also did. You can also. Oh, wait a sec. I'll full screen you in a sec. Let me just finish up what's on the screen. So what I decided to do with the back of my Lego passport, my newly acquired Lego passport, is I've done a red stamp for attending as a guest and one black stamp for everyone I work at as a volunteer. So I'm going to keep filling out like that. And then down in the corner here, kind of where Joel is, for you guys watching at home, there's 2 other types of brick stamp that we give. And you can have these in your passport, but obviously we stamp these on hands as well. So there's, 3 different stamps with a couple of different colors as well. If you're like that kind of person, you like that kind of thing. I've never been a big fan of it, but the kids love all this stuff as well, getting their thingy stamped. So there's that. But yeah, let's quickly show off Joel's while you show us, Joel.
It's my lanyard for displaying.
Is that what it says on it? Display. That's right. Yeah.
It says builder, so I haven't put my name on it yet. I'm a bit scared to write my name. Well, actually, no, I could probably just do my signature. I'll probably do that.
And then mine says,
Here's a Sharpie.
Party.
Pretty much. So get rid of that. So that's one picture I had. This is just one of the examples of the things we got for kids. So there's like a scavenger hunt. So what we do is before the event starts, we have little minifigures. You can kind of see them at the bottom, and they'll be holding like a little letter, and we just distribute them around the hall. Now, again, this is quite weird because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's 9 letters. Generally, they're 9, 10 or more letters. I've seen a 12-letter word as well in the past, which I don't know how the kids are supposed to get it. It was like something like, I can't remember what the word was. It was like something like,
I don't know why they're so complicated.
Yeah, they're really complicated. But I think and again, this just shows because you've got to put one of these on each mock. So there's got to be at least that many mocks, around. And, I struggled for choice on some of these. But you distribute these around the mocks. And again, they're not even the rented ones, just the ones that displayers are at. And the kids are supposed to go around, collect the letters, and then try and work it out. And they get like a little prize on the left or your right, possibly. Yeah, I mean, then I can't. They're only little prizes, but it's just something for the kids to do.
Convention if there's a prize. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, it might be like a bag of sweets or a bag of Haribo or something like that.
Absolutely. I'm doing that.
It's just like I said. A lot of kids don't even care about the prize. It's just it's something for them to do, and it gets them interacting, gets them looking at the mocks. And anyway, so then there's the list of events for 2025. So there's 80 events there in total. There's not many left for the year, but you can check that out on the website, which will open in a sec. So there's that as well. What else have I got on here? This, if you guys are interested, I would definitely say this. If you've been to one as a displayer or as a visitor and you weren't particularly enthralled or excited by it, I would definitely urge you to scan this QR code. Again, it's on the website, and just give it a try out as a volunteer. You might see something different. You might also be disappointed. You might be more disappointed. But honestly, I had a really, not everybody's the same as me in terms of like wanting to give back to their community and stuff like that. But it did give me an enormous sense of well-being. It was like, park life when I'm feeding the pigeons. Like, so if you give that, I just give you guys a try. And I don't think they ever say no to people. So what else we got on here? So this is just a couple of, I put these on because these are just a couple of things that I've picked up along the way. So this guy in the corner, I can't remember what he came in. I think was he in an advent calendar? Can't remember. It's the guy from Rogue One. And obviously I had every Rogue One set, but I never got him. I can't remember what set he was in, or he was in something that wasn't just a regular release set. I forget now. Yeah, I forget off the top of my head now what he was in. I don't know whether he was in the calendar that year and I wasn't buying the calendar, or there was something. And I never got him. Managed to get him at the show, and I picked him up for like £4 or £5. I got the I know he's not highly and sought after, but he'd long gone from shops when I was kind of looking for him, which is this DJ figure. I mean, this 50p was actually wasn't at the Lego convention, but it's like this was a cool thing they had at one of them, where you gave a 50 pence piece, any 50 pence piece, and they'd give you one of these in a presentation card. You wouldn't have to pay anything for it.
That's cool.
And they had different Star Wars different designs. I wanted to get all the designs, but I was just like, I only happened to have 150p on me, and I was just like, no, this is cool. It's got the Millennium Falcon on it. I wish I'd got them all now, because I think there were 6 different designs. And they had like a voting system, so the more of each one they sold, that was the one that was going to go into production or something. I don't know. I never ever saw it go into production, but I thought it was cool. Picked up this snowy boy for like a couple of quid. This down here in the right hand corner was the free gift that we received the first year we were there. So it was like a little fireman polybag thing. So you get this free gift when you do the early bird entry, which is again something nice for the kids. And then this set was really weird. Someone was telling me about this, and I can't remember what the story was. The book you see above, which has got this twin cloud pod speeder thing, that was never released as a proper set. You could only get it from buying this thing, which wasn't widely available. But I think she was saying that Lego released it as like a free bag that they were giving away at events or something. And she was like, we've got a load of them for sale. And I was just like, so basically they've grabbed a load and now they're selling them. But it was really cheap. I don't know if you can see the price sticker. I think it's like £8 I paid for that to get that. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. And it came with like a QR code with the building instructions. Like, I don't really want the book and this big chunky thing, but I do like the build, and the fact that you've got a build that not everyone will have, because it wasn't just, for standard release. And I like that kind of thing when it comes to a build. I don't actually own of any version. I think there's been 2 official versions of the Twin Cloud pod speeder, not including the ones that were in the Cloud City sets. But it might have been 1, might have been 2 versions of it, and I don't know any of them. So I was like, chance to get one that was kind of a bit less available than the others. So again, these are just some random things that I've picked up that I just kind of had lying around. I thought, they also sell these T-shirts as well, which are pretty cool. Guys. They did have a blue version of the one I'm wearing.
I've got the blue one. Mm-hmm. I've got the blue one of what you're wearing. I think it was £10.
Guys, I have kind of crazy news.
What's that?
Festival just like promoted the stream like on their Insta.
Who?
Brick Festival.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I tagged them on their Insta. It's like literally on one of the posts.
I tagged them as a collaborator, so they've obviously accepted that. So that's cool.
Yeah,
nice.
We've
see if any people flock in now.
Post with Brickfast.
Yeah. So these t-shirts are pretty cool. This is the back, in case you're wondering, the clockwork thing. And I guess these are I bought these. I've never actually worn them, but I just thought they were actually pretty cool. Just as wear as kind of random Lego t-shirts. I like my Lego t-shirts. So it's supposed to be like the female and the male version of the robot, I believe, minifigure. Don't know. Don't really know, but I just thought it's cool. It's Lego. They're relatively cheap. So snagged a couple of them. These are their own license kind of t-shirts as well, even though it's based on an official Lego thing. So they sell these all the events. Not nice variety of sizes, so they're pretty cool to pick up if you're into that kind of thing. And then So this is my most recent purchases, and I say purchases. This was the freebie for this year, the Ninjago Dragon Zane, which doesn't mean anything to me, but if you're into that kind of thing, you get that free when you pay the extra for the early bird. And obviously, you know, the early bird prize was the same like over a year and a half. They finally changed it up, and me and Whitkey were having a bit of a joke about it because he went to the one in Weston-super-Mare and then he came up to the one in Cardiff and they gave him the same free gift. And I was just like, well, you know, they've obviously bought them in bulk, so they're going to have thousands and thousands of them. And I saw the boxes they had of them. So, like, yeah, obviously they're going to still have them. You don't just pay to have this. You pay in to have the extra. Because a couple of people have said, oh, it's not worth paying the extra to get that free gift. I think it works out like £2 extra. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you're not just paying for that. You're paying for early bird entry. So you're in here before it gets busy, before it gets crowded as well. So you get the best pick of the bunch in terms of like signing up for the events and that kind of thing. But you know what people are like, they're never satisfied. The other thing I did is, on a bit of a whim, is I bought this. Now, the actual set is on the left, which is what it would have looked like if you'd bought it off the shelf. And then what I bought, the version I bought, is on the right, which is kind of in a cardboard box with a photocopy of the set stuck to the front. Now, what they do is we have a lot of people like this doing resellers, but they're actually selling pre-loved sets. And that price is actually pretty good for that set. It's pre-loved, and what that means is it's not in the original box. It's been like used or built before, but it's complete. And they've just kind of repackaged it, so it looks a bit better than just going to sell it to you in a plastic bag, which is fine. Like, I was never really into the buildable figures. They were kind of on their way out when I joined the community, but never really liked any of them. However, as most of you guys know, Captain Phasma is in like my top 5 characters, not because of the actual presence or character on screen, but just how it looks. And I remember being like, this is really cool. You know, it was sad what that happened to the character, but shout out to Gwendolyn Christie. I do think it actually looked really good at the time, and I was really chuffed with it. And I still think that. There's a guy called, shout out to Mock Lobster, who buys or owns a lot of these buildables, and he takes off the pieces that are kind of, you know, you can't make with Lego, i.e. the helmet, the cape, perhaps the gun, and then he'll like make the rest up using Lego pieces as like kind of like a mech. I've posted and shared them before because I did the Darth Vader one. I started doing the Darth Vader one, and yeah, so I've decided I'm going to do a little project with this and try and make my own, because I don't think Mock Lobster's done one with Captain Phasma, but I'm going to try and do my own. So, you know, apart from the pieces that you can replicate decently with Lego, I'm going to try and make my own mech of that. So that's on the agenda. But again, I haven't seen this for sale. You don't kind of see it knocking around. And of course, if you were to pay for that and postage and stuff, even pre-owned, you'd be paying a lot more than that. So for me, that was a good deal. And then this is my last little haul. So there we go. So this is MatteBlackBricks. I actually got the set right here. Comes in a lovely display. It's obviously made with real Lego, but because it's not licensed, he's done his own kind of, you know, packaging. The packaging is really good quality as well. It's all wrapped up. I haven't opened this, so I don't know what it looks like inside, but you know, obviously he's got the Welsh flag made up of pieces. Now that was actually quite expensive for what it is, but I did ask him if he exists on Rebrickable, and he said no. So, other than maybe looking at it and trying to work it out, and I think when I was speaking to him, he did say that some of the parts that are on here, to get them in red, are quite either rare or hard to get or expensive, because they obviously got to all be that kind of dark red.
Yeah.
So I thought it was worth it just to have the kind of presentation and the experience of having the box. Also the print. Now, we had this print a while back when we did the Cardiff opening show. But so I'd seen that before, but I didn't really know what it was. But he actually had it. So I got the actual print here. And it's it looks really good. And I really want to try and get hold. I don't think this Lego Dragon exists in red. I believe it only exists in green. So this is kind of like, you know, a mock-up purposely for Wales. But it's
It has got its own website as well, by the way.
Yeah, I have put our heads are in the way, but you can kind of see it down here in the corner.
That dragon
I'll have-
mold class, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just something
I wish
about
it. I wish it existed in red. I don't think. I'm not even sure that the green one looks exactly like this, but they've, obviously this has just been customized for the sake of the picture because, yeah, I haven't seen it in a physical format. So, what have you got? Oh, what's going on there, Joel?
Oh, this is his website, by the way. I want to give him a shout out. He's got a lot of other stuff too with postcards as well, which is pretty cool.
Would do you wanna drop the link in the chat and then I'll pin it and then pin mine?
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know if they'll let me because I'm not like a moderator. I'll try though. Yeah, he's got like loads of other brickheads as well, which is pretty cool.
No, you put it in, I'll pin it.
Wait, is that real? Hold on. I don't know why, but on
I was really tempted to get that.
I think it's real.
It's not very realistic. There's no sheep in the background.
Yeah, the brickheads are pretty cool though as well. I'm not a big brickheads
He's
guy,
also got love spoons as well, which are really nice.
They are brilliant, to be fair. That Wales football player brickhead's pretty cool.
There's also custom
Most
keys.
of it though, that's not very realistic either.
He's trying to find the stream.
Yeah, no rush. As soon as you've done it, put it in there, I'll pin it. Just let me know. I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of people out there who are going to be buying Welsh Lego sets. I get that, but it's worth a little look at. Just even if you just like looking at Lego, because I like looking at these random Lego websites. I very rarely buy stuff from them.
In chat. I tried. I don't think he'll let me.
Why?
There's a
What do
link.
you mean it wouldn't?
Oh, it's because there's like a link.
Oh, right.
I don't know. YouTube are very weird with links. This is really cool as well. There's like a little print of the Welsh flag.
Smoky. I will see if I can find it, and I'll pop.
Oh my god, the CDMS and interior too. Oh, that's really sick.
Oh wow, that was cool. And new tab.
Wait, is it got a tutorial? Oh wait, no, it's just the look of the instructions. Also, I want to quickly point out a little detail on this. He's used the gear piece for a waterfall.
That's cool.
So it's
I
like
can't really see it.
I want them to zoom in. But pretty much for the waterfall, he's used like a blue gear piece, and now he's used.
I see. Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
There you go. I've pinned it in the chat. If anybody wants to go and just have a little look. Like I said, I don't expect people to buy something necessarily, but have a little look. The stuff is,
it's a bit pricey, but like for what it is, like I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah, like I said, I just like looking at this kind of stuff, and some people might be interested in it. But so that was one of the. Get rid of this a sec. That was one of the things I think I was most excited about that, and the great thing was for me as well is just like, right, I can purchase it and ask him to keep it back, and then I went around and collected everything towards the end as they were packing up. So rather than carry it around, the other thing we did get is, and I'm going to go have a quick look at Brick Festival's website in a sec, but let me just get rid of this from the background. Oops, put that back there. So I've just changed the background up a little bit. Let's just make us a little bit smaller. So I did ask two people to be on the show, one of which, shout out to a guy who exists. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he's on Instagram, Brickpoint0. So I met him as a fellow volunteer in Newport earlier in the year. And it wasn't until like after the event that I realized who he was. I think I posted something about the event and he commented, and I was like, wait. And he was like, oh yeah, I had great fun there today. And I was like, oh, that was you. Why didn't you say? And obviously he was probably the same as me. Like, you don't necessarily go around telling people you make content about Lego. You just assume everybody else is, just a viewer kind of thing, or they don't know who you are. But so I did, I was chatting to him offline, and I did say, look, are you going to be working in any others? He said, I'm not sure whether I will, but he ended up working in the Cardiff one. And I did say to him prior to the event, do you want to come on the show and talk about it afterwards? And I never heard back from him. So I thought, fair enough, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Well, it was only when we were at the event that he was talking to another guy who was first time volunteering. And he was like, oh yeah, Martin does content. Talking about me, like, does content as well. He said he does like a chat show, whereas I just do like Instagram shorts or whatever. And this guy was like, yeah. And with that, he was like, oh, I just realized you messaged me. I was like, yeah, it was like 3 months ago. And he's like, oh yeah, I must have seen it. I thought, I just thought you left me on red. So I must have seen it and just forgotten to get back to you. And I was like, oh, look, no pressure. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you want to pop on, it'd be nice to have, another view. And he's like, look, Sundays aren't good for me, whatever. He said, if I can pop on, I will. And that was the end of it. However, while I was working on the door, there was one, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I was working on the door and I think something happened. They basically wanted me to put a banner out. So I managed to rope some kid in from the queue to come and help me put a banner up. And then I was kind of messing about out by the doorway, doing something or other. Anyway, as I walked past some guy pushing like a wheelchair or a pushchair, was it a pushchair or a wheelchair? Either way, he was like, kind of got my attention. I didn't recognize his face. And I wouldn't have, because it turns out he doesn't do content, show his face in his content. But he was like, oh, Cool Han. And I was like, wait, what? And I had one of those moments where I'm like, okay, at Brickworld, it was still a surprise, but you kind of expected, there was a couple of people there who knew who I was and I didn't know who they were, because obviously the show and we'd, been promoting it or whatever. But like in Cardiff at a brick event, and I was thinking I hadn't even really told people I was going, so I was thinking this is weird. So this guy was like, "Oh, Cool Han, it's how's it going?" I'm like, "I'm really fan of the show," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, right, yeah, how's it going?"
That's cool.
And it's kind of awkward then, because you're like, "Who are you?" Don't want to say like, you kind of feel a bit embarrassed asking people like, "Who are you?" like kind of thing. And he was like, "Oh, I'm." He said his name, and I won't say his name because in case he doesn't want people to know, but he said, he said his name. He said, I'm Fix My Brick. And as soon as he said Fix My Brick, I pictured this symbol and these words. And I was like, all right, I didn't even realize that, you're in the Welsh area kind of thing. And then afterwards, obviously, when I did a bit of research, when I wasn't kind of up against it, I think he had interacted with a couple of posts in the past and said, so I should have really worked out that he was from the area. But obviously, when you interact with so many people in the community, it's hard to remember. So I do apologize to you if you're out there, Fix My Brick. But I asked him if he wanted to pop on the show. Because he doesn't show his face in any of his content, I knew the chances were quite slim. But what he did do is he did say he'll try and pop on. And I said, look, no pressure. I'm not pressuring people to come on the show. But he said, what I can do, he says, I can write a review for you. And he said, and you can just read it out on the show. And I was like, yeah, awesome. Different, but I'll give that a go. So so here it is. He's just actually messaged me now to say, I'm still catching up on all my jobs, so probably can't make it, but I will try and comment in the chat if I can. I may appear as Drunken Gamer, as I haven't done YouTube for Fix My Bricks as yet. So Drunken Gamer was actually Fix My Bricks. So there you go. So we have said hello to him, but obviously, again, we didn't actually know who he was saying hello to. So, but here is his review, and it's quite an in-depth review. So you'll have to just kind of bear with me. Okay, here goes. My name is Jason. Okay, so his name's Jason. So he has got his name out there. My name is Jason, and with my son's help, we run Instagram, Facebook pages called Fix My Brick. We are a Lego restoration duo. We aim to help people restore their old sets to their former glory by cleaning, replacing spare parts, and generally fixing them. Now that I read that, I think I might have had a conversation with him at an event in the past, because I remember speaking to somebody who said he does that, but he hasn't said here whether he sells them again, but it's a side hustle at the moment, so yeah, I'm guessing he does sell them, but who knows in the future. Anyway, I found Mr. Cool Han Luke through Instagram and realized he was a local guy like me. I've followed him since and always have enjoyed his content, especially all things Star Wars. No, I'm not making this up, guys. He has actually sent me this message. Just blowing smoke up my own ass. Like, My son and I finally got to Brickfest 2025 in Cardiff on 18th of October, and I thought I would share my experience. As soon as we arrived, we were welcomed and were shown the side entrance as I was pushing my son in his wheelchair. It was an easy, accessible route. As we got the front entrance, my son's bay was searched. Bay? One of 3 times. I must have one of those faces. Oh, that's strange. My son's bay. Oh, does he mean his wheelchair? Anyway, I didn't mind, as safety is paramount to these events. Next, my son's PIP paperwork was checked, which again is fine and professional. Then we had our hands stamped, and Samuel received his free gift of a sealed Ninjago minifig, a really cool one with wings, like the one I've shown you guys. Luke passed by in his epic green t-shirt. He's not referring to me, called me. Everyone assumes my name is Luke. We said a quick hello, and off he ran again, later to find out he was pretty much running the event. I don't know if I go that far, but yeah. We entered the event bang on time. We went right as most people go left, like in the theme parks. We went as the early birds, so it was pretty chill walking around. We got to see everything, I think. The vendors and mock builders were very friendly and were happy to ask anything at all. That's another thing I was going to say, actually, is that I do find that the mock builders and the vendors, they're not like sale, 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 sale. And again, this might be different to what other people have experienced, but they are very kind of interactive and they want to talk about the Lego. This is why I don't see them as kind of like, I'm only here to make money. Some of them might be. For all the ones I've spoken to, maybe because you know what you're talking about and you talk about, say, oh, that set, oh, yeah, I've had a... And they talk about it and they have a chat with you about it. And the next thing they know, they kind of like have to pull themselves away because they forget that they're trying to make money and they got to make a sale. And I'm like, yeah, carry on. Sorry for disturbing you or whatever. But generally, they're all quite passionate about what it is they do, which doesn't, you know, I know obviously they're still there to make money, but it's clearly not, I'm only here to make money. They do engage with people as well, regardless of whether they're buying or not. So I think that is always worth taking into consideration. Like I was chatting to the woman who sold me the Captain Phasma. We were talking for a while. And then I realized the other sets that she had for sale, it says all sets 100% complete, including minifigures. And they had the Naboo Swamp Speeder. What do you call it? From Phantom Menace, the second version, which has the
Gungan Sub.
In it. Gungan Sub. Now, I actually own that set because I bought it from Brickworld, complete, but without the Queen Amidala figure. And I was like, that's fine. I won the set because a long time ago, and I've now, I think, finished it. I repurchased all the 1999 sets, and then I wanted the newer version of each of them as part of a collection. And obviously, the Gungan Sub was one of the 1999 sets released, so I wanted the new version. So I wasn't as bothered. I wasn't going to pay stupid prices just for a Queen Amidala figure. So I paid for it at Brickworld. Went there to Brickfest, and they had it in one of these kind of resealed cardboard boxes, like the one I showed you with the Phasma. So it wasn't the original box, but it said 100% paid for sealed. 100% sealed with minifigs, £55. And I was like, no. So I went to the guy, I said, look, I got to ask. I know your sign says, but I just want to double check. Are all the figures included in your sets? And they're like, yeah. And I said, because I'm eyeing up that Gungan Sub. I said, 55 quid, is that right? And he went, yeah. Oh, wait. No, sorry, that one doesn't have the Queen Amidala minifigure. I said, that figure's...
Yeah.
And he's like, do you still want it? I said, no, I own it already. I was just... And he was like, no, thanks for that. He said, this shouldn't be on the shelf. It should be somewhere else. Because otherwise, people were going to be asking him that all day. Or buying it. And if he hadn't noticed, then complaining.
Yeah, because you might look at that and think, right, I'm going to buy that, just and not mention it, because if I do mention it, then the seller might think, oh shit, this is actually worth a lot more money than what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Like I said, and if I'd wanted the set, I might have been tempted to do that, but then I would have been disappointed when I got it home. Yeah. And of course, I don't build stuff straight away, so I wouldn't have found out about it probably for 3 or 4 years. But no, that would have been worth it just for the... So I thought I'd pick up on it. But of course, I had that engagement, that conversation with the guy. I wasn't buying anything. I was, and so I do find that. So I think the fact that he's picked up on that is a good point. The vendors of mock builds were very friendly and very happy to ask anything at all. We particularly liked the Zelda table. Now, that was pretty cool, and I wish I'd gotten photos of that. The guy who was running it was very cool and passionate, even dressed up to match his designs. Yeah, that's right. The guy was dressed up as a don't think he was dressed up as Zelda, but he was dressed as something from that universe. And he had a bunch of, I don't know much about Zelda because it's after my time, but he had a bunch of like mocks and stuff based on it. Hyrule Castle was epic. Is that Zelda? Hyrule Castle? I think it is. My son bought a retired Fortnite brickhead set, which he was hunting down and was a very reasonable price. We loved everything. The only slight issue was that when 11 a.m. hit, it filled up fast. Actually, there's 12 o'clock tickets as well, believe it or not. But yeah, so it did get very, very busy in there. It's a shame the event couldn't have the whole room. So for a wheelchair user, it could have been a little easier to maneuver. Correct. Having said that, having all that space may have the event look a bit empty. Overall, the event was amazing. We will be going back next time it's in Cardiff. Hope that's okay. So yeah, right. And so I'm just going to I can't post it on here because it's thingy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to full screen myself and show you because he actually tagged me in his story. Where he'd taken some video footage from the event. So you see it.
Me waiting for my mock to be potentially featured. I made it! It's my Greg's mock.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, now I've got to say, right, this, from my memory of it, this is a small portion of what was there. And that's that's already quite a lot of mocks.
I think that's the majority of the mocks. Like, there's a lot of sellers he didn't take photo of.
That's a lot more than what was at the Birmingham one. A lot more.
So, so shout out to Jason and his son. Let me remember his son's name. Did he say his
my
son's
Greg's mock made it into the reel. I'm so
yeah.
What's your order from Greg's, mate?
Fun.
What would you order from Greg's?
Oh, that's tough. Probably, like the kind of custard slices. Those are weirdly just really nice.
Yeah.
That's probably a controversial take. Probably Defo's Hostel and a pizza.
Yeah, the pizza.
Just
good. I love the sausage, bean, and cheese melts. I do.
Oh, that's nice to be fair.
They're unreal. I could have them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Samuel. So shout out to Jason and Samuel at Fix My Bricks. Glad to meet you. I remember saying to him, I'll catch up with you in there, and I don't think I didn't get a chance to, just because I was so busy. But the fact that he picked up on the fact that I was practically running the event, I'm not sure where he got that from, or whether he was just seeing that or what, because I don't think I said that. But yeah, so look, it's nice to have somebody who was just willing to, at least throw in a to Pennyworth in terms of what their experience with it was. But yeah, so have you got like pictures? I meant to ask actually, have you got pictures of like your mock like display?
I should. Yeah, hold on. Let me try and pull
it. Could you throw them up? Because I know we've seen them on here in the past, but I did really want to get. I should have asked. I remember thinking to myself, right, what am I missing now?
Which
that was it. Have you got it on your PC? Was it on your phone?
Yeah, I can send them to it.
I was going to say just share screen it. That's probably the best way, because otherwise it'll just be 10 minutes of waiting.
Okay, just send them to myself. Wait, no, Safari.
What did Matty say? I can't remember when Blue Leaf. Oh, that was it. Yeah, I just bought 2 from a Denmark seller, still in the calendar bags. Yeah, I only paid like I think £4 for him. I can't remember his name. I know the actor as well. He was in stuff when I was a kid. But anyway, yeah. So I always liked his character, and yeah, he was never in a set.
Oh, there we go.
Frustrating.
I got it. I don't know how that works, but I got it.
Because I think Matt Whittaky bought the Death Trooper Battle Pack. And I think he paid like £13 for one, which I know you can get two for 30 in, sorry, 2 for 20 in Argos. But he was saying that they're never available near him. But even like you're looking at 15 to 16 quid each. So for something that's still available and he's got it for 13 quid sealed, you know, new, I think that's off a reseller. That's not bad, really, is it? So
I got on share screen.
Okay. Yeah,
so
one thing I should have done really. More pictures of mocks.
So yeah, there's the basketball mock, which this guy next to me destroyed. Pretty much like the bit of his box, I just kind of landed on it, and then like the whole hoop just like absolutely collapsed.
Nice.
Yeah, there's the waterfall in the background, the pub, which is like a classic. Oh, there's the Space Invaders one that you had me build during like the 30 days.
Yeah, go and check it out, guys.
Yeah. Then
yeah, that was cool. I think I got a picture of me with it as well. But I forgot to send those pictures, and it's a pain in the ass sending them when I'm on the stream already. So
yeah. Then there's Greg's, Tesla, Twitch, Insta.
I love the Greg.
Yeah, those are cool.
There's 1984 with Keir Starmer on there. There's a little habitat.
I should have come up because I wanted to see the 1984 one in person, but every time I went up to your table, there was loads of people in front of it.
Yeah. When the guy like was selling like a set, like he moved, I think the Jungle Book one, and like there was a lot of people trying to look at the train station at the time, so that was quite unfortunate.
Yeah, what a dickhead! Like that guy on that side is pretty cool, though, wasn't he?
He was chill. He made like a joke when I got there saying, "Oh, I was about to steal your table," which was kind of funny, but yeah, he was chill. I'll be honest though. When I saw the cowboy hat, I thought he was that guy, like, you know, off like Instagram Reels where like he's like from America, and like he's always trying. I bumped into
him in Cardiff Market. The guy with the long dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bumped into him in Cardiff Market, but I wasn't sure who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went. He was the guy who I went to his table, and I was just looking, and he was like, "Oh, we do a staff discount as well." I was like, "Oh yeah, just looking at the moment, you know, while I'm killing some free time." And he's like, "Oh, do you want a cookie?" And I was like, "No, I'm just going to take someone's cookie. Like, I don't know where it's been." But you can see he's eating it. He's got it in his hand there. He's got a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. What's that black and red one called again?
Oh, that's Tokyo Ghoul. It's like an anime.
Tokyo Ghoul. That's it. Yeah.
It was like the last episode.
Who's the brickheads?
That's me.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I'd seen that one either before.
That's what I look like when I actually do my hair. Most of the time,
I've got a hat on.
Yeah.
What's the yellow one? I don't think I've seen that one before either.
The yellow one.
Yeah, right there next to you.
Oh,
that's green.
No, that's green. That's the fake moon landing. It's like meant to be a green screen. I did it like 233 challenge thing.
That's right. Yeah. Mate. To be honest, looking at your marks, there's quite a few there I don't think I've seen. I'm trying to remember what the woman was rubbing her hands along. It must have been across the front of the train station.
Oh yeah, it was the train station for sure. I mean, I don't imagine it would be anything else, to be honest.
No, because I remember you had one with like all the swamp outside. You know that one?
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that one. There's not really any texture there. My best guess would be the train station. Because something probably would have like fallen off if it was that one.
Yeah.
So feels are pretty fragile. Oh, then there's also the graveyard right in the back as well.
Yeah.
I've got a better photo of them. Hold on. I'll load her up now. I should be able to just do this. Hold on. I don't know if this is going to work. I hope it does. So do that. This probably makes... Hold on. Oh, yeah, there we go. It works.
That's better. That's better, yeah.
Yeah, slightly different angle.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
But yeah, with the graveyard, I added bats in the background.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah, that's good, yeah. I haven't spent enough time looking. See, now I'm looking around thinking, I wish I'd spend more time looking, because I think every time I've seen you, I've looked at a couple of your mocks, but then I've either been like in the middle of going somewhere, or I've been too busy chatting to you to actually look at what you've built. But I really wanted to see the 1984 one in person. I'm gutted I never got a chance to go over.
Yeah, I'll hopefully be displaying it like some more next year. So
yeah.
Well, actually, no, it might apply to display down Barry. On the 24th.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing the same thing. That's what I was going to talk to you about as well. Actually, I think I'm going to put my name down to display, and then message them. And I don't know. This is what I was going to ask you. Is that how are they with? Because I know Brickworld allowed it, but how are they with like rebrickable mocks? Because in some of the cases, I've got permission from the builders, because on 2 in specifically, they sent the instructions to me, even though they charge for them on rebrickable. They sent them to me personally, without me paying for them, because they'd never physically built it and they weren't in a position to. So they wanted me to build it, and then I sent in some photos, and then they used those photos on rebrickable. So I've had permission from those guys to obviously build it, and it's easy enough for me to reach out to them and say, look, I'm going to display them at an event, but I'll obviously put on there, this can be found on rebrickable under so-and-so name or whatever, because I'm not going to be trying to claim them as my own. But a lot of the ones I've done, I've adapted them slightly. I've modified myself.
For National Brick Fence, I'd be very 50-50 on, because they didn't want to pay me at all for displaying. They are mostly just traders. They didn't really care for mocks at all, not in the slightest. The one guy that was running it all, he was super nice, but they didn't offer to pay me at all. I literally had to ask them multiple times until they eventually gave in. But yeah, to be honest, I feel like they'd just be I don't know. I don't really know how they'd be. But I will warn you, you have to message them on WhatsApp. So it's a bit different to Brickfest.
Well, I've been emailing this woman back and forth, so I'll reach out to her on there. But if there's not a lot of mocks, that's going to throw me off a bit, because I was thinking about asking if I could do a show from there, and just go around and interview and stuff. It's only because that dinosaur guy who I was trying to get on that episode where we did the Lego, he apparently posted that he was going to Cardiff Brickfest.
Was there? I saw it.
No, but basically he posted that he was going to do it, and somebody came to me and said, "Can you look out for this guy? He looks like," and I was like, "Oh, I know him. I've had a conversation with him about coming on my show." And they were looking at me like, "Your show?" And I'm like, "That's another story. But what do you want anyway?" And they're like, "Look out for him, because we want to get him in and give him a lanyard and basically treat him like a VIP, because he's a big Instagram." And I'm thinking, okay. I'm not trying to suggest maybe I can get away with doing that. But I think a lot of these places do benefit from some kind of exposure. I mean, in my case, it's only going to be it's not going to be thousands of people. It's going to be a dozen, if that. But that's more exposure than they're getting from nobody, So surely they think they'd be open to it.
Yeah, Dinosaur, he does TikToks of a guy called Craig, not Craig, I think, and he's a monster guy. He just loves monster. And I asked him if he was there, because I met Dean in this convention. I asked him if Craig was in. He was like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't get invited to any of these events. They don't know that he's actually into all this stuff." So I was quite sad too.
Yeah, but yes, it was kind of weird. I messaged him to say, "Look, when you get to the door, none of the other people working here know who you are, what you look like. We got to get you in as a VIP." I said, "So will you make yourself known to me, because you know what I look like at least, and I'll I'll usher you in." But of course, he must have turned up. I think he turned up when I was on my break, and I went to try and get some a brick signed in the Comic-Con. So while I was over there, I missed him apparently, and he'd been and gone, so you couldn't have been there for very long. But anyway, it is what it is. But I was just thinking, that just made me think, well, I wonder if they'd be open to the idea of having someone just kind of walk around and promote it. Remember when we were in the queue for Brick for the Lego store, and they had those 2 girls who were just walking around interviewing people and making content.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Those are St. David's workers. They pretty much just run the socials for St. David's, the actual shopping centre. So they get exclusive access to everything. Because if we promote the shop, St. David's make more money. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is it's exposure in another platform. You know, however big or small it might be, it's still exposure to another platform, which they wouldn't be getting. Well, I assume they wouldn't be getting because Brickfest don't have it. So I don't know. I think it might just be worth it, like just to have.
This all just kind of reminds me of a stupid idea I had about a year ago. Pretty much, I want to get like some like cheap T-shirts made and like pretty much just rip off Beyond the Brick with Beyond the Stud and just go to a bunch of like UK conventions. Just call it Beyond the Stud and have like a mini series where I interview mock builders.
Oh Christ!
And I thought that'd be funny.
It'd be cool to have like a UK version of that, though.
Yeah. What's going on with Whittaky?
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Why were you just?
I didn't know if I came on it, but I just come on.
Yeah. No, I think you wouldn't have been there anyway.
Whatever,
but yeah.
So I was waiting for you to show your faces. Evening, everyone.
How was your shift, mate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Glad it's over.
Well, we've talked a little bit about Brick Best, our experiences, a little bit about displaying and what goes into the event, what we get from the event. And obviously you've had a little bit of exposure to a couple of events now, we'll say 3 or 4. So,
4.
you know,
No, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, mate, try and maybe tell us something we haven't already heard.
I don't know because I haven't been here. But yeah, I mean, 2 was Western, 2 was Cardiff. Not a lot of difference between each of them. The only thing I will say is I probably prefer the Cardiff one because you've got the option of going next door to the other convention, which is quite nice, free of charge. Yeah, it's just like I said, obviously, completely you can't even compare it to like Brick World and things like that. So, but it's nice to it's a nice place I think for the families to go and. And they do events and stuff. I mean, this was the first time I got involved in doing some of the events, but that's probably only because of you.
Same with me as well. I've never done like
even though that last one was fixed, wasn't it, Joel? It was fixed.
Yeah, it was so rigged.
So let's just give a better background behind that very critical and harsh feedback. But so I ended up running the events sort of section on my own, and for the last event, because you do the kids, then the adults, and the kids, then the adults. So obviously the adults get a chance to come in and have a go, and of course the kids all of a sudden are experts. I was going to say throw that up now in a sec, but we did the last adults event, and there was like by that point there was not many adults left. Everybody was kind of leaving, and it was kind of about to finish. So I managed to rope these guys in, and then there was a couple of kids who were a bit older, but they wanted to get involved. So what was it? It was the Alien creator.
Yeah,
we got to create a mosaic and inspired by aliens. It doesn't have to necessarily be an alien, but something inspired by alien. So of course I roped in Joel and Whittaky, and who else? Was there another dude there as well?
There was another bloke there. Yeah,
there was
another attendee. And I got them, and then a couple of the kids were like, "Right, we want to do the adults one." I thought, "Come on, man, it's the last one. There's nobody else around. Let's do it." So we did it, and of course, I try to be as realistic as possible. So I was like, "Right, I'm going to pick." But I did get that other guy and he didn't know you guys from Adam, so I did get him to pick, and he also picked the kiddies one as well. So.
Plus, they had extra time.
It's my alien dude.
So this was Joel's go. You can kind of see the others in the background. I never got my phone out of these things because I'm so like engaged. But so I didn't actually take a picture of the rest. I didn't even think about covering it on the show, which is why I was a little bit disappointed about. Because I was looking through my photos of the photos I took at the event, and there's literally a selfie with me and Joel, and that's pretty much it. Because obviously I don't have my phone on me.
Joel went for it. He went full on.
Yeah.
So
I've never done like one of these.
The red alien behind. I thought that was the best one actually. But...
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I can't even remember which one won it actually, but
I don't know. It wasn't even it was like a little building, wasn't it, with a shooter.
It wasn't mine.
I didn't understand.
I can tell you that much.
Oh, listen to these. I know it was an adults event, but you're against kids and you were expecting. And you wouldn't have wanted the prize anyway, because the prize was for kids.
No,
I
all
wanted
me,
the
and, all me and
sweets.
Joel wanted was the sweets.
Yeah.
Well, I gave you all some.
Yeah.
Some sweets
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Like, we don't care
Yeah.
if we win. We want the taking part sweets.
What are they like? Nimble? They're taking the sweets off the kids. Like, anyway, these are the
Well,
photos
you
that I
know,
took.
Massive bag of
snooze, you
them.
lose.
Oh my god, it's me.
So I got one of
That's
Joel.
Joelbrix guy.
I'll tell you what made me laugh though. Was with Joel. I was chatting with Joel next to his mocks, and there's a picture that I noticed, and it says quite clearly says on there, "Do not touch." Right? You remember, Joel? We're stood there.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't know it's you, and these kids are just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Some
Do
people
not
just-
touch the marks.
You didn't say nothing.
Anyway,
Oh, by the way, these are like the pouches you got.
yeah. You're supposed
You
to give
love a
those
pack,
back, mate.
didn't you, Mark?
Wait, what?
Martin loves a
I've
pack.
got like 15.
Not patches, pouches.
How?
No, I've got like 10 of these.
Yeah,
I've just been keeping them.
You're supposed to give them back.
I have so many of these.
Yeah, I know. That's where they all went.
Let me get my
Yeah,
collection.
they laminate you little cards to put on your table saying "Do not touch" and stuff. But Joel's obviously been pinching them. So, anyway, let me show you the videos that I took. The very limited amount of content that I took.
Are you like?
Where's that?
Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't take any. I was going to.
Guys, I might be in trouble.
Guys, we're back here again at Brickfest in Cardiff. And it wouldn't be a Brickfest in Cardiff.
Oh my god, it's me.
Got to get him in for the vlog, the 2028 vlog.
You still need to edit the vlog, by the way.
How's your Brickfest so far, Joel? Yeah, but it was a Showmasters employee, right? Yeah, Showmasters.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't let me into the convention.
Especially this one. Yeah. But yeah, so do you want to do a quick plug? Subscribe to Joelbrix because I might send it to you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll probably retain.
There you go. There's
Oh my god.
the mock.
Yeah.
The mock inspired by me, by Joel, and then a picture of some Deep Heat. So yeah, that was that was it.
Space Invader.
Does anyone want to see my collection of stolen Brickfest pouches?
Yes.
So I didn't know you were supposed to like give these back. I got loads.
Your name on it.
Yeah, because they cost a fortune.
Do they?
Yeah, the ones with your name on they say to keep, but the ones that just say like "Do not touch the mark" and stuff, they're like,
Oh, I keep.
well,
all of
I don't know.
those.
They probably don't say to give them back, to be honest, but just everybody else does. I think everybody else just leaves them on the table, but I'm gonna have to go around and collect them. But there
No,
you
I
go.
just keep them.
Just
See,
leave
so-
them there next time, anonymous. Just
Whittaky, what is your order at Greg's?
my order at Greg's.
Yeah, Sarah likes the sausage roll dipped in tomato soup.
Well, I just like the sausage rolls. I quite like steak bake as well, but sausage rolls are my main. Greg's sausage rolls has killed sausage rolls for me anywhere else. I cannot eat now sausage rolls anywhere.
Yeah, they're all dry, aren't they? You need them soggy like the Greg's ones.
Yeah, they're nice.
Greasy
They're
and
moist,
soggy.
they're nice. I
Me
even buy them
and
from
my
Iceland as well and cook them myself,
oh, nice. In the
which I will
microwave.
be doing after this actually because I'm feeling a bit hungry.
So if we're chipping past Greg's, because Kirsty don't tend to eat at Greg's very much because they don't have a lot of veggie options. But if me and my daughter are chipping past Greg's and I'm like, oh, come on, let's just get something here before, so I'm going to cook when I get home. We always do the same thing. We do the 4 sausage rolls, not hot. We don't want them cold. We don't want them hot. So whenever I go up to the counter, I say, oh, are the sausage rolls hot? She went, yes, they're lovely and hot. I'm like, oh, I don't want them then. She's like, I like them warm because I like to be able to eat them straight away. And I know Nimble is going to tell me off now because he likes them. He likes everything piping hot. But like, I like to be able to like enjoy it. So warm is good for me. And then I get a pack of 2 Yum Yums. They used to be £1. I think they're going up to 125 now. The Yum Yums, which are like the wiggly things, coated nice in. Ah, it's a tasty little snack. And I always do it. 2 sausage rolls each, a Yum Yum each, and I know my daughter will only ever eat 1 and a couple of bites of a second sausage roll. So I end up with practically 3. But still, it's good. It's good. Cheese and bacon. Oh, the cheese and bacon turnover. Mm-hmm. There's a bakery that rivals Greg's that only exists in West Wales, and it's called Jenkins. So you won't have them anywhere else in the country. Joel will know them. Well, kind of know them. They're not really up your way either, but if you've been West Wales enough, you'll have seen them. And they do they do a Welsh pasty, which is like leek and sausage, and I can't remember what else is in it. It's just really nice. They do a cheese and bacon turnover in there, and oh my word, they also do something called, I don't know if you guys up in over in England have heard of this, but it's called a Manchester tart. Have you ever had a Manchester tart?
I've had plenty of them in my
Do you know what? You beat me to it.
I didn't even see myself walking into that one.
Mate,
so it's like you imagine a casing of an egg custard, but it's got like proper fluffy light custard inside it, and then it's got a big blob of jam in the middle, and then coconut shavings on the outside. Oh mate, if you ever get yourself a Manchester tart.
I don't like cold custard, so
yeah, well, you got the cold custard t-shirt on though. Well, so if you guys ever get down to West Wales, I'll take you to a Jenkins, and you'll never eat at Greg's again. But
Greg's as well. They used to do years ago. It was like a round, like flapjack, and half of it was chocolate. Bloody gorgeous, and they stopped doing them.
Yeah,
remember those?
I remember those. Yeah, I do.
Bloody, I used to get those and a sausage roll every dinner time when I used to work.
And I remember the eclairs. They used to be about this big. Now they're like like a little finger.
Lovely eclair.
Do anyone remember they used to do like the chocolate cakes with like a bit of flake on the top?
Ooh. With the paper wrapped around the sides, the doily paper thing.
Just a sponge on it though.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good shout. But you used to be able to get like 4 sausage rolls for £1. You might remember this, man.
You can't even get 1 for £1.
And then it's like the steak bakes. Oh, and they used to do the chicken bake. They used to do the old one. Now it's like mostly like dried, like a paste. Whereas it used to be like choice chunks of chicken. In a nice creamy sauce, and it was like 25p.
The cheese and onion ones are quite nice for once in a blue moon.
Yeah, they're good.
No meaty, no meat.
No meaty, no buy.
No meaty, no buy.
No, I mean I have to have it with a sausage roll or with a steak bake.
It's got to be a sausage, bean, and cheese melt. They're unreal.
Those are a good shout. Yeah. Christ, there's not much that they do that's not good. Like even the breakfast rolls when they start like years ago when they first started doing breakfast rolls. The bacon and sausage bap with brown sauce.
You know, I feel like Tyler needs to be on this now. I
need to go to Greg's now. Is there one open? We got one of those Greg's by us on the retail pack. It's open till late as well. Have you guys got one of them near you? It's open till about 8 or 9 o'clock at night at Greg's. On a retail.
Does anyone want to see a monster?
What?
Like a monster calendar is a monster. Hold on.
Monster.
I made this the other night for fun. Is the teeth the one tooth fell off, but it's meant to be a monster.
What the hell are the teeth made of?
Clay.
Put my hand up here. I've never ever had a monster.
Wait, what?
I've never had one.
No, I haven't either, to be honest.
Yeah. I've had one a couple of times and then regretted it because I'm just like shaking like a shitting dog for ages afterwards.
I mean, I've had a Red Bull, but
you read the back of them and it says this drink, like 100. Bear in mind, it's like 500 milliliters. 100 milliliters of this drink contains 400% of your daily sugar intake, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I think it's like 60 grams of sugar in one of these.
Like you can literally feel your teeth packing their suitcases, like to leave.
See, as you're talking about things from bakeries, does everyone remember when they used to is it like I'm trying to think now, like meringues?
Oh, love a meringue.
Now,
Ooh, bit of lemon meringue.
you two won't know this, but Martin may. I remember one bakery, and I can't remember which bakery it was. They used to do the meringues, but it was Dougal, the dog from Magic Roundabout. That goes back.
Oh,
many
Christ.
years.
No, yeah, before my
Yeah.
time. Bruce, that was Ferrari's, wasn't it? Was it
No, I
Ferrari's
think it was
bakery?
something called Wits something. Can't remember.
Oh.
My mum used to work for them part time. I know that. She used to bring home loads for us.
What did you snag at Brickfest then, Martin? I remember you bought the.
I mean, it
Was it
cost me a
13?
fiver. It was like back this, square, about that big, and it was a chocolate and pistachio brownie. Oh, it was absolutely delicious. Very
It looked
sickly.
really nice.
I finished the rest of it when I got home.
A Brickfest?
No, Comic Con.
Oh.
Yeah,
No, I meant
door,
like what Lego did Lego did you buy?
I was thinking that, Mark, as well.
Oh, could you talk about food? Sorry, I thought you were talking about food.
Yeah, no, we could talk about food all night, but I'm gonna get carried away.
Well, I've got let me see, because I've it's in the other room now because I'm in the front room. I did snag a little figure, like a little Robin Hood figure to go with my D&D set. Little blue.
Yeah.
He's got a guitar or a banjo, whatever it is.
A lute in it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a troubadour figure, isn't it?
I picked up, and I know people, but I did pick up the Jedi Temple because it was only a tenner, mainly for the figures.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you go up with the guy? Was it the guy next to me? Battle Park.
Like one place was selling it for 40 quid. Most people were selling it for 25. I noticed it's a couple of people selling it for 15. The one I got it off with, it was 12. And I said to her, just got a tenner. Will you take that? She went, yeah. so I got it for tenner. And then I saw, I wasn't planning on buying anything else, but then I saw the battle pack, the zombie one.
That trooper.
Yeah, and that was a tenner. And I thought, well, that's the cheapest
tenner?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it was 13. Right. Okay, that's good. Yeah. No, that is good then.
No, it's a tenner. Yeah, because if you remember, I said to you about it, and you went, "Oh, where?" And I thought, "Oh shit, I better go and get it."
Yeah.
They're 2 for 20 quid on Amazon now, Mark. If you still want it done.
I mean, they had it for Argos, but like I've said this a few times. I went and rang up every Argos in Bristol, and they only had one in stock. It's a rip off.
I got 8 of them from a.
You're advertising 2 for 20 quid, but but none of them had it in stock. They only had one in stock. And let's be honest, I probably only want one anyway. So 10 is fine for me. It's the same price, 2 for 20, 1 for 10. So that was the 3 things I bought. But out of everything, probably the figure was the most expensive thing because that was a £5. But I just saw it and thought, oh, that looked nice in my D&D set.
Well, I gotta say, mate, I've been terrible with the chat because obviously I'm so reliant on you. I have called out a couple of things. It hasn't been as popping tonight, though. I'll be honest, as it normally is.
Shout out to Liam then. Evening, Liam.
But a quick shout out to everybody who was there. Obviously, we want to call it 10 o'clock, so we've got a couple of minutes here before we wind down.
Yeah.
And I haven't used any of the banners. I think I left up the banner saying
the Cool Gang.
The Cool Gang one was up for about an hour after you left. I'm just terrible with stuff like that. So I even made a Brick Festival banner. We never actually used it. So I'm crap with stuff like this. Join the Brick Festival crew. I mean, I have got the thingy ready to share, but I don't think there's anything on there that we didn't really cover.
Yeah, Nimble, because it'd probably go well in your but that's the one I got.
I've got him. He was it's the troubadour.
CMF, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's a fantastic figure.
I just saw it and it just caught my eye. I thought, oh, that looked nice.
Fantastic figure.
Oh, if we're talking about things that we built as well. Oh, that's on there.
The hell was that? You just stepped on a cat.
Pussy.
What?
Whittaky's pussycat.
Oh, was it?
All right.
Is he making a noise?
Sound like you stepped on him.
No.
What can you guys see? Because I can't see it.
I can see Brickfest, and it's like,
Yeah,
Doctor Who.
It's like the website or something.
Yeah, there's some Millennium
there
Falcon.
So just upcoming events that are left over.
I think
Or
there
is
is
this a bit
one in
outdated?
Birmingham coming up soon, isn't there?
So let know.
Yeah, because I was planning to
Upcoming
go
event.
yesterday to the Western one, but unfortunately I was working, and the little lad I was going to take has not been well, so I couldn't take him.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier you might have needed to blow his nose.
Oh, mate, no, that's constant. It's constant.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, because of
so
his
Brent.
trachea stuff.
Oh, okay. Brentwood. That's obviously today, so that's missed. We got one in Sheffield coming up. I think they stop kind of November-ish time. Croydon, Watford, Chichester, Bracknell, Gloucester. That's actually quite close, Gloucester. It's not too far away. November the 30th. Southampton, Colchester, Taunton. Actually, there's quite a few left for the year. You can subscribe to the calendar. Look, the website is pretty. There's not a lot on the website, which is kind of good. What's that?
I said Taunton's probably not too bad for me. It's probably just as far as going there that it is to Cardiff.
Yeah. So look, what I'd say is, in terms of traveling up and down the country to go to these, I don't think there's a lot. You're not going to see enough different as a visitor. But if you were to go as a volunteer, if I had the opportunity to, and I could do it, even if they just covered my costs to get there and whatever, I would do it in a heartbeat. Go up and down the country. Obviously, I work most weekends, so I couldn't do that if I wanted to. But I would do that because I just get a lot of, like I said, a lot of sense of well-being from just volunteer.
The only thing I will say is if you want to go to a few of them within the year, so 1 year, only do one early bird because you'll get the same thing every time.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, is that I don't think these aren't designed for you to go and travel and visit as a attendee. They're not designed for that.
No.
They're designed
it's like for locals, isn't it?
Localize.
For the locals,
Yeah,
just for
designed to localize the experience. So
And
I would
and
just
it's nice
say
like that.
But if you've got one coming up near you and you've never been, I would do. If you've been to one before, I would definitely recommend going again. And I did say I wanted to mention the charity partner. So the charity partner is Roald Dahl's Marvelous Experiences. I can't remember what the name of the charity is. So what happens is there's there you go, Roald Dahl's Marvelous Children's Charity. And for seriously ill children. So basically, one of the events they do, this is the thing I didn't mention as well, is a different event. So we have the events that I talked about earlier. You have another one called a tombola, where it's like a big tombola thing. The kids, they pay to have a go. That money goes straight to charity. And then, depending on what color brick you pull out, and obviously there's higher chance of, depending on what it is. Sorry, there's a higher chance of the basic prize, but it's a prize every time type competition. So you get a minifigure, which you could pick a random minifigure, and then it's the next prize up is like a poly bag, and then the next prize up, and they had loads of the Star Wars poly bags. They had Star Wars poly bags there from years, over 10 years, the really old ones. So if people collect that kind of stuff, that's pretty cool. And then they had the next prize up was actual sets, and they had things like small sets, but they had sets like the Darth Maul mech and stuff like that. So that's another event. You had like obviously the merchandise table. They had an event. Like I said, the RC cars. There's a couple of different things. I think the main one for adults in terms of something to do that's not looking at mocks and buying things is the Pick a Brick Cup, where you can just go around and they got these like 7 tables in a star shape, and you could just kind of go around, fill to your heart content. A lot of the adults doing that have their kind of brick set. What do you call it? Brick linked lists of parts, and they're just kind of fishing through that to try and find how many they can find. So But yeah, look, it's worth having a look at the website. I won't go through everything on the website because it's relatively Fisher Price to find your way through this, and you can find pictures of different events and stuff. They kind of update it with the most recent events that have been going on. So it's definitely worth having a little look at if you get the chance. But yeah, why is my screen gone tiny? Story of my life. Oh, the Chichester one is my local. I'm in London that day. Ah, shame. If you ever get a chance to go to one, though. And I tell you what, though, while we were on the subject of it, because I know you mentioned it, Nimble, is when it might be, they haven't released the dates yet for next year, but it might be worth looking when the Birmingham one is. So what I might do is if you're going to go to it next year, it might be worth, I might try and get that weekend off and volunteer at that one, head up there.
Definitely.
And then volunteer that, make a week, because me and the missus go to Birmingham quite often for gigs and stuff. So I spend quite a lot of time. I probably, of all the big cities I've been to, probably spend more time in that big city than any others around the UK, apart from obviously the ones that are near me. So if we could make a weekend of it, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be mint.
We could just volunteer together. But
the coach can come up as well.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Now that I've discovered the Flixie bus, it's so cheap to just travel around. It's just great. So that's what I did on that Saturday. I just got on it, went to Cardiff, spent a few hours, and came back. Nice.
How much was that then?
It was I think it was $6.49 going there and $4.99 going back. So you can't really complain.
Oh,
Jesus! All the way just to see me.
If I wanted to get an Uber from my house to Bristol bus station, which is about 3 miles, it would cost me 15 quid.
Sounds a bit expensive to see Martin, to be honest.
Yeah. Only came for you. Well, you didn't turn up till like 3 o'clock as well, did you? 3 o'clock. Went at 4.
I was there at 1:30.
I was like, when you walked in, I was like, "Wait, what are you doing here? You hadn't even told me you were going." So I was just like, "Oh, this is amazing."
The thing is, I'm fed up with just doing nothing on the weekend. So I thought, yeah, you know.
I don't
mind. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that far, and like I said, you can get the coach to anywhere. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll try and get my tetanus done before I go there. But
nice. Ouch!
Need a lot more than that.
Ouch! My Welsh pride.
By the way, because we're no, I was on about going to Birmingham.
Yeah.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Nimble knew. Yeah, before we go though, it's it's something I built. Then I built him. There he is.
Lovely.
And look what I've done there. Nice. Look, it's a ATA with a Christmas jumper on.
No, that's good show. That's good show, mate. When's the content coming out for that?
Oh, mate,
2028, along with my Brickwall vlog.
You know what I've done. You know, like what I've done with the. I think I did it with the AT-ATs. I did it with the X-wing, where I show like the micro, then the next one, and then the big one. I've been planning to do that with the speeder bikes because obviously I've got that big one, didn't I? I haven't got around to do that. I also want to do a new AT-AT one, including that one now, but I haven't gone around to do that. I just don't seem to have the time, or I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
It's hard work being a content creator, isn't it?
I wish I had the, to keep doing it, but I just like, and then I thought, and then it's like, well, only a few people look at it anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah, but do it for yourself, mate. If you enjoy it, you do it.
Yeah, don't do it for satisfaction from other people because you'll always be disappointed. No matter if it's 1,000 people, you'll want to.
It's a silly one. I mean, it's like when I do ones like stupid ones, like I don't know, what was it, the Barrador one where you can pull the thing and you can, is it the throne room or whatever? And I was just like, I was going, oh look, I can do this all day, and I had freaking loads of. It's just a stupid thing.
Yeah.
It's weird, mate, and how it works.
And you put a cat in it, bloody hell, you get loads of views.
Which one retiring set? Oh, Tim, you'd have to send me the list because I thought that the 20th anniversary figure Star Destroyer was retiring. At least I was led to believe it was, and I'd read it somewhere. Turns out it's not. So I would have said that. But
Yeah,
I don't think
agree.
there's.
I was with you, Mark. I thought that was retiring, so I would have said that. But now I'm not that bothered about anything that's retiring. I've either got it or I don't care.
I
There
think
is a
there's only
lot of
one
retiring
for
as
me,
well.
but only if I get it as a present off the kids. I'm not really that into. It's only maybe because of the figures, and that's the Is it the the one with the soaker?
The Jewel on
The
Peridia.
T16 shell.
The grey slab with the
Jewel on Peridia.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really that worried about if I miss it.
It's good figures though, Mark. You want to get that
that's the
for
thing.
Osiris.
That's the problem.
That throne is going to be sweet.
That'll be an expensive set in a.
You could only get it in the Lego shop or in Smiths, and Smiths at the moment, they've taken it off. It's not even.
Smiths have got a juicy sale on right now.
Yeah, but
don't check out Smiths if you're in the UK.
Mate,
Shout out to
they must
Crimson
have sold
Toaster.
out about a month ago, and it's not on at all.
Can you minimize that down to just Star Wars, just for me?
Okay.
Just because I only buy Star Wars, so I don't be interested. And I think the only sets retiring are ones I've already got or I have no interest in buying. So got.
Not interested. Got. See that one maybe not interested. Got.
That's the thing. Got the ones we want.
Got not interested. Apart from Nubs.
Yeah, same.
On his own.
Same. I'm done. So I can't. So for me, Tim, nothing. I can't even pick one out of all
Mine
of those.
would be the Peridium.
I'm really surprised this is going as well. So I swear this has been out years. The London bus.
Yeah, it's been out forever, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, Kirsty's had that for about 20 years.
If I had money to waste, I wouldn't mind. I quite do like the Snow White cottage.
Yeah, it's cool, the cottage.
Yeah.
Oh, this one I kind of want. The lighthouse.
Oh, is the fox going out of them? Is that retiring?
Yeah, I really wanted this.
I'm thinking of the lad I work with because he loves the 3-in-1 sets.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
I haven't seen it around for ages.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom and Jerry is also going to.
With the fox, though, all three of them are good builds.
Mm-hmm. I really want the squirrel.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Well, that's what they do, innit? So you end up buying 3 of them.
Yeah, I've invested in some of the brickheads, like for when they retire.
Is there right? I wonder, right? I mean, you might know this, Martin, or you might not. You might know Joel as well, because being a big sort of mock builder. But is there like say for example, you bought, say for example, the Fox set, yeah. So you buy the Fox set, and then you buy 2 more because you want to do all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Is there a site somewhere, or where all the bits that are left from the 2 boxes, you can actually make something else?
Probably rebrickable.
That'd
be your best bet. Just search for the set on there, and then you'll probably find a bunch of options.
Yeah,
because that would make that would make sense then, that you could make a 4th thing, couldn't it, out of the 2?
I don't know whether it'd be that specific.
I made the bear today out of the is it the Beautiful Horse set? And yeah, there's quite a lot of pieces left over. And I was like, yeah. And if you bought another one and made the deer, you'd have even more pieces left over. And surely you could be able to build something out of all those pieces left.
Yeah. By the way, Kulan, our like only kind of Welsh-ish like Lego set is going. The Daffodils is just hiring.
Well, I say I got it. Kirsty's got it behind me. Did any of you guys? I know you wouldn't have, Joel, but did any of you other guys get the ACOB sticker set?
The what?
Release? The minifigs and the sticker set they released.
No, I didn't bother.
No,
I was in bed. I didn't stay up for it.
No, same. I just thought I'm never going to buy a car. But what I was thinking, I was going to do my own kind of mock and then maybe use the stickers for that. But I just thought, when am I going to do that? I've got a list of 100 mocks that I've either started or.
I will say that car though was going cheap in Britfest, because I noticed it.
Wait, which one?
Oh, it's for a specific one, is it?
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
So the Mercedes.
Yeah, that's it.
But
no, it's definitely. No. I mean, I got a couple of their sets. That's enough. There's so many Sean and Brents you can know, really.
Yeah, Tim. Shout out to Tim.
He's saying this one as well, by the way.
non-Star Wars Orient Express for me. Yeah, it's in our middle, but we got one in each of our bathrooms. So we got one on the bottom floor, one on the middle floor, and one on the top floor of those flower sets.
What
I can't put a single Star Wars set out, but we've got her sets even in the bathrooms.
The plum blossom, yeah.
The red one, yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
And then the bamboo one is upstairs, and the orchid one is downstairs. Oh yeah.
Is that the pink arsehole tiger?
I was going to send it over.
I thought that had long gone.
No, it's retiring this year.
Butthole tiger.
Sad times. I have to say though, the way they've done like the Bill and Ted in Kilmar is beautiful.
If I see this reduced, I might actually get this because I think I like the idea of the 3-in-1s.
Tim's is going in Express and the Lighthouse for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my the little lad's got that. I've built that, the tiger.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Battle tiger.
Can he put any pieces in? Is he able to do like basic pieces at all, or does he just watch the whole thing?
I mean, some people they say if you put it on and press it, but he won't do it for me. He's lazy. It's very difficult because he's only got use of one arm. But it's but yeah, no. To be honest with you, he just won't do it, mate. He's just lazy. He loves watching and he loves but what I do get.
Does he know that is he aware? Is he aware that he's paying for him?
Oh yeah.
All right.
But also though, but not all of them. Sometimes because we've got another lad and he tends to go because he's able and stuff. He goes out a lot, so he gets a lot of activity money and stuff. And sometimes we're like, well, okay, well, he's gone out there, so Leo can't do this and do that, so he can have a Lego set out of the activity money sort of thing. So yeah, he doesn't buy all of them. But
does he know though that they're all on your shelf in your house?
Sorry?
Does he know though they're all on your shelf in your house?
What, his Lego sets? They're in his room on the shelf.
Oh yeah, sorry. His room on the shelf. I meant. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he likes to display them. He likes to. But that's what I mean. He prefers. It's no point getting him like like a ship or something like that. He like a play set or whatever. He likes to. He likes the animals and stuff. So
yeah, they do look good on display. In fairness,
I mean, even that. It was a cheap one, the toucan one, but it's awesome for how much that was. That's a great little set, the toucan one.
Yeah. There's a couple I want to get for my daughter for Christmas. I saw the panda one the other day reduced for it was down to 20.
Yeah, he's got that one.
I was like, I'm gonna get this. And Kirsty was like, "There's no point. She just won't. She just doesn't build. She's got Lego sets from the last 3 Christmases we bought, and she haven't touched them." So.
I mean, the one thing I will say is obviously I buy that. He gets them and stuff, and obviously I do build them for him and stuff. And it is quite nice for me to build things that I wouldn't normally build. So.
By the way, I don't know if this interests anyone, but there's a Star Wars set on sale.
Yeah.
How much is it?
87.
That's really good for a Lego price.
Yeah. I think it's 84 in Smiths.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
but extra 5%, don't you? VIP points.
Oh yeah.
I'm not interested in it anyway. To be honest, I actually enjoyed the show.
It's a brilliant set.
I enjoyed the show. I just don't like the look of the ship. I think it looks ugly.
No, it's great, mate. And
it's good, isn't it?
You can do that thing and it moves. Yeah,
I don't think for me it's just got no ongoing relevance either. Like give it 2 years and people have forgotten what it was. So I'm more I prefer the iconic stuff.
I mean, the difference is probably with me is that I actually really enjoyed the show though as well.
Same.
I did. I really enjoyed the show. I just don't remember looking at with Star Wars. For me, I'm like, I watch it and I'm like, wow, that ship looks cool. Oh, that looks really good. That reminds me of the show. I didn't look at that shit. To me, that ship wasn't relevant enough in the show. Not like if you think about the Mandalorian and
I
quite iconic in the show, right? Whereas with that one, I didn't find it really kind of stood out in the show at all. It didn't really see much of the outside of it. You saw more inside.
Yeah, I suppose, but no.
But I mean, that's still a good price for what you get. But yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a shame that they didn't include SM33.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's me, yeah.
And unfortunately, I thought, they're bound to bring out another set, and they haven't. And it's a shame because we could do with him Surprised they haven't done him as a buildable figure, to be honest.
Mm. But anyway, look, we're
better with droids.
We're gonna start winding down. I think we need to. I gotta put one more place card out.
I've shafted. Oh yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, well, if you think about it, it would normally be 11:15, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week we got the guy who's been on the longest on the waiting list since this show started, and that's Crimson Toaster.
Yeah.
He has actually officially been on the show before from Brickworld, but he is going to be on the show next week, and yeah, just need to let Crimson know Crimson, you need to let us know a topic that we can kind of flesh out on the show, and sometimes we'll pick like topical.
Now he was I'll probably bring it up next week as well, but he was a surprise when I met him at Brickworld. I think I said
how
to
young
him,
he is.
I said, "Blimey, you're only about 12."
Oh, bless him. But so that's what we've got coming up, guys. The next 6-week schedule is almost completely nailed down. I got one person left to confirm, and that will allow me a free balling episode. But other than that, yeah. So we've got 4 guests confirmed, a 5th one TBC, and then that's it. The next 6 weeks will be up and running. I'll try and post at some point this week if I get a chance. Also want to let guys know that I'm potentially going to be doing a bit more streaming not this weekend, but starting from after the show on Sunday for that entire week. If there's enough demand for it, I might do a Cold Fusion at some point throughout the week because I got the whole week off. I don't know. I'll see what happens. If people want one, I might do one, but definitely going to try and do some smaller streams, a couple of build streams, and hopefully get together with Nimble and do a what do you call it? A con stream again, because I just really want to talk a little bit about Echo Base Live.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll try and hash out a day for that. A week starting like the 3rd.
I'm also in at least one of the days, mate. So we can definitely put in.
Yeah, probably. I would say, I don't know, possibly the Friday, something like that, maybe.
Yeah,
We'll sort of. I'll reach out to you. But outside of that, I'm also planning it's a discussion about Star Wars. This was non-Lego related. I've had a little chat with Ken. And basically what I want to try and do is I want to get some guys from the older school generation and some guys from the newer school generation. And we're going to talk about, like, I don't know if you guys have watched it, but if you watch Brick Dynasty's episode where Ken had Tyler on Life Bricks, and they got into a kind of sub-conversation about like how the Phantom Menace and those kind of films weren't as well received by adults at the time.
No, they weren't.
And I was kind of around for that. And I know Sean has talked a little bit about that as well in the past, about, like, Phantom Menace and the prequel trilogy got a lot of flack at the time when it came out. And then kind of it grew on people. And we talked about, like, how they think that might happen with the sequel trilogy. Anyway, I just really want, it's something I've always wanted to, like, really talk about properly with somebody. But so I've chatted a little bit with Ken. So potentially got that. So yeah, just things to potentially look forward to on the channel that I've got planned. With some kinks to work out. But yeah, other than that, the show every Sunday as normal, and hopefully some build streams in the week. But how about you guys? Got anything going on over the next couple of weeks?
I do want to quickly point out in exactly 10 weeks' time, it'll be episode 67 of the Cool Han Luke show. It'll be episode 67.
Yeah, I saw that comment earlier, mate, and we did kind of
earlier.
We brushed over it. But do you notice that I did it as well, didn't I? When we were doing the countdown, I was like counting down for you guys to finish building, and I was like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 7. And the kids were like, "Hey!" I still don't know what I was saying.
And we
But,
all-
yeah.
I don't know either.
Feel old.
Anyway. But no, look. So that's what we got coming up, guys. What about you, Joel? Have you got anything planned on your channel at all this week or next couple of weeks?
Not this week, but I'll probably return like at some point within the next month for defo.
Nice.
Like my
Return.
vision, like I have in mind, is like I return with like a full like movie, like mini movie style trailer type thing. I don't really know yet. And then like I just like proceed to release like some of my best videos yet, and then I do like 2 times a week from there. I don't know,
Nice.
that's just a vision I had in my head. I've got like
Yeah,
some like crazy ideas. It's just like actually like finding the motivation to do them.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. Tell me about it. Like, I think I toss and turn most nights, and I'm like, I kind of wake up in the middle and I go, "Oh, that's a really good content idea."
Yeah. I had like a video idea earlier.
That's where it stays.
No, I've had 2 like really good video ideas today. One is like I made origami with like a Lego bag. So I take a Lego bag, I cut it up, and then I make like, you know, like little swans or like a chat box type thing. Or like I just make like some random DIY stuff up. And then the other is, you know, like pardon?
I said I can make a swan out of a towel.
Yeah. And then the other one I had is actually like, I'm actually pretty excited because I'll display it like shows, because you know the like new like $500 like aquarium type thing.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculously overpriced.
Haven't they got it's GWP that goes with it, with a dead fish in it?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recreate the set, but using this as a base. It'll be like a very like smaller version. It's the creator set from a few years ago, so I'll essentially recreate it. But with
How much was that one though? Just to kind of
25.
get 25 quid.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking crazy. And they can
What,
charge
with
500 quid
is
for
it the
that.
tank and everything?
This, yeah.
The whole thing? Wow, for 25? Bloody hell.
Well, I had it for I think a bit cheaper, but yeah.
And it's got
That's great.
it's
That's
all the
madness,
ones
isn't
from
it?
whatchamacallit, in it? From Finding Nemo, or most of them.
Yeah. You got Nemo and Dory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna like recreate the set, so I'm gonna have like the kind of background it's got. I'll add like little treasure chests and everything.
Nice.
But like in this kind of frame, so that one I'm pretty
How about-
excited for.
I'm actually going to have to get off now because I've got to get up very early. So I'm going to say
I'm
goodnight
gonna
to everyone.
Yeah, well, I'm actually trying to say goodbye. I just wanted to see if you guys have anything
okay.
planned before I just cut everyone off.
Yeah, sorry, I've just
Anything? No, if you guys have got nothing planned though, I'll we'll call her a night. So guys, if you're watching on replay, description below, all the guests and hosts accounts, go and check it out on there. Obviously, Joel's bricks you can find on there, and you can potentially get one of his mock.
on the eBay store.
Yeah.
Through that because the website was too expensive to run.
But no, guys, please go and check it out. And obviously, if you're watching back, don't forget to sub, hit the bell, like and share. Yeah, you got some goodies on there, mate. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But so from me, from Witticky, from Nimble, and from Joel, thanks for tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in and hearing everything about Brickfest. And guys, if you have any input on Brickfest, if you're watching this on replay, please put it down in the comments below. Interested or no? And I can obviously field any questions about it if you're interested in getting involved in any way, shape, or form. Because I want to be an ambassador for this event. I think it's a great event.
Yeah, I went to do it this year, but I just didn't.
I want to get a lot more involved next year. As soon as the calendar comes out for next year, I'll probably book a couple of weekends off and try and do a few around the country. But I will have to tie it into actually going and doing something, because there's a lot of money to spend just to go there for that. But yeah, just to kind of soak up the atmosphere around the country. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. So last couple of comments.
Well, just want to say one thing because I didn't know.
Smokey!
Tomorrow, Nimble.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate.
Oh, happy birthday.
I will be 28 tomorrow, and I'm
Never.
getting very close to 30.
Happy birthday to you. I went to the zoo. You look like a monkey, and you smell like one too.
Nice.
Thank you, mate.
I say that to everyone.
I don't
He
mind.
does.
That's from.
I
won't own it. Oh, it's from Madagascar anyway. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right,
Happy birthday. Have a
Thank
great
you
Forgot to
very much.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate. W's in the
Yeah,
chat for Nimble
birthday.
if you're still around, and happy birthdays. And while you're doing that, I forgot to play these.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
I really want to know what he's watching on telly.
Saul makes 10. 10 ought to do it, don't you think? You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
G'day. Want a cold one?
Who the hell are you?
Call me Nugget. I've been looking for Walter Riley. Haven't seen him around, have you?
You should have bought a gun instead of a beer, mate.
Nah, I don't need a gun. I've got a donk.
You've got a what? Donk.
I still laugh at that punch every time. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Sarah.
Oh, bye.